Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we're answering your YouTube questions. When I say we, I'm talking about myself and my brother from the same mother, D. D, what is going on?
It's been a while. It's been
we are back, baby.
2 weeks.
Yep, it's been 2 weeks.
So back.
We are back, sorta. Just kind of hanging on there, a little bit tired today, but coming in, ready to rock and roll, ready to answer some YouTube questions. So yeah, I guess that means we're back.
We're back. We're back. It's been 2 weeks.
Been 2 weeks, which is too long, is what that is.
14 days.
Yeah, 14
for those
days.
of you who cannot do basic arithmetic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're back, and we're answering YouTube questions today. If you do have a question, there's a link in the description below. Click the link. Drop your question into the form. We are going to answer those questions first come, first serve. And because he's really tired and he's really jet lagged, I can't guarantee that we're going to go the full 3 hours today.
No, but we keep saying that. Like, we've said that like a handful of times, but we do it anyway. So we're going to see how it goes.
We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, we're going to see how it goes.
We're going to do our best to get through as many questions as possible. We got our first super chat of the day.
Home Rapper Repair, what's going on, man? Says, thank you for the super chat. Says, Nick, thanks for the lunch that I had with you at Vid Summit, for being so generous with your time with all of the creators. My pleasure. It was awesome hanging out with you. It was awesome getting, to hang out with everybody at Vid Summit. Really good time this year, as it always is, learning all kinds of stuff, as always, networking with everybody, and really, just the hangout part, and like you said, just hanging out. I absolutely love that particular part of Vid Summit. So I'm really excited that I went, of course, really excited that you went, and I'm sure that you're probably still buzzing off of it like I am. It was awesome. Chantel's in here, Doug's in here, as well as some other people also. It was just great, being able to connect and, see everybody, as it always is.
That was fantastic, man. I'm so glad we got to hang out. That was great. The dinner we had together, that was great. I appreciate our time there. That was fantastic.
Love it.
I wasn't there.
So this stream, if this is your first time here, this stream, or every time, this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, which is the tool for content creators to help you optimize your videos for discovery, help you test your thumbnails to make sure that the thumbnails that you're making are effective for the people that you're trying to reach and the traffic sources that you're trying to tap into. They also have a bunch of bulk update tools and other, helpful things for you that help you with your workflow as a content creator. But you can try out TubeBuddy for yourself and just see all the stuff that it can do to help you with your channel and your workflow at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin. You can see that right down there at the bottom of the sign. I've also got a link to that down in the video description as well. And I do want to let you know, and Dee mentioned this earlier as well, if this is your first time here, the questions that we answer today are pulled from the form that is actually pinned at the very top of the live chat right now. It's also down in the video description, and it's free to put your questions in there. So if you have a question about anything that you're trying to uncover about YouTube, make sure that you do put your question into the form, and we'll get them answered onto the stream or on the stream here today. And just as a reminder, that form, it's not something where we're like, pulling up YouTube channels and things like that. It's more about like, hey, I got this question or this thing that I'm trying to solve. What's your advice on like how I can get over this very particular thing that I'm trying to solve, is kind of the idea there. But we're not actually pulling up channels on stream. So I just wanted to let you know, about that. But go ahead and get your questions into the form so we can get them answered on the stream today.
That means we're not doing channel reviews.
Yes.
Just had to spell that out.
Had to spell that out.
I know we're going to get
put it in plain English instead of the walk-around version that I was doing.
No channel reviews. We're answering questions, and the question is not going to be, look at my channel.
Right. That's not a question.
Yeah,
that's a statement, or that's a command.
Here's a question we're not going to answer. Look at my channel and tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
That would be a question that's not going to get answered today. Versus, I'm having trouble getting people to watch my videos longer. How do you recommend I fix that problem? That would be a great question to ask.
Love it.
Eileen,
what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Tim Jans, what's going on? Irvin M. Ferguson, hope that you're doing great. Brandon's recovery, nice to see you in here. Let's go ahead and get into the questions, Steve. What do you say?
Zortek and Eileen, how you doing?
Yeah, nice Zortek, what's up? Zortek watching from Twitter. Nice, love it. X.
What are we calling it? Are we I still call it Twitter.
It's X. I still call it Twitter though. It's just kind of muscle memory. I mean, how do you not call it, Twitter after how long?
He should have named it Twitter X.
Yeah, that would have been
nice.
That
would have been the Twitter X.
Yeah, that's what we should just call it, Twitter X.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
From this day forward,
all right,
Twitter X.
Let's rock and roll. So the very first question is from Dream Builder. Dream Builder uploads when they have time, been on YouTube for a year or more. They do car content. The goal of the channel is to entertain people with informative content on my models. And the question is, hey, Nick, when you unlist a video and republish it, does it send out a notification? That's a good question, and I really don't know the answer to that particular question. I think that it does, but I think that I
sure
think,
about that.
I think it's not like a guarantee. Like when you publish a regular video, it's kind of guaranteed that as long as somebody has the notifications on and all that stuff, and they're subscribed for the notifications, that they'll get them, or that YouTube will at least attempt to put them out there. But when you are unlisting a video and then you publish it again, in that particular case, there's no real guarantee there. So
yes,
it
does. It does.
Does it?
It does. And I remember because I unlisted a ton of live streams, and I came back and I relisted those live streams, and everybody got notifications.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, but
There we
it's
go.
random. It's not like every notification goes out to everyone. So yeah, they can go out.
So so not guaranteed per se. They can,
They
so
can
maybe it
go
will.
out. Yeah, I made that mistake with a bunch of live streams.
But
So
here's
yes,
the thing: when
yes.
it comes to that, is don't try to use that as a way to like notify people or anything like that. Like if you do it on accident or something like that, then it's like, okay, that might be one of those circumstances to where how YouTube has that little box to not notify your subscribers. That would be one of those circumstances that you might want to use that particular feature so that you're not updating somebody on a video that they might have already seen. So because of that, don't try to use that as some type of way to bring a little bit more attention to the video, because it's already been live on your channel. You've taken it down for whatever reason. So therefore, I wouldn't try to use that, strategically, so to speak. Great question though. Good little conversation there. Starting off.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I unlisted.
Yeah, it's like a unique use case.
Yeah, I unlisted like 20, 30 different live streams, and I don't know, 2 months ago made them public again, and people started getting notifications. Some people were actually upset. So it's something to think about. I upset people.
So one thing that I want to mention here really quick, and I just want to go and just confirm here really quickly, just to make sure. I got to hit this to get past this little reaction button here. But I just want to confirm.
What are you trying to do?
Yeah, super close. So really quick, we have Big E in the house right now. What's going on, dude? Hope that you're doing fantastic. I just wanted to go ahead and just congratulate you, because I know that you are. I just pulled up your channel to confirm. I was checking to see if you had hit it yet. He's at 99,500 subscribers on the channel. So he's getting ready to get the play button. So I just wanted to just give you an early congratulations, because hopefully by this time next week when we're on, hopefully you'll have hit it already. But I just want to give you an early congratulations on hitting the 100,000 subscribers. And getting to the button club, man. Like just as a quick reminder, like I remember, like the first time that I ran across your channel, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool stuff. So seeing you, getting ready to get the 100,000 subscribers, super excited for you, man. And just as a reminder too. D's over there sulking because he doesn't have his play button, but but just as a reminder, like what you've done, and with you too, right? You didn't get the actual play button, but did you order the new one, by the way? No, but anyway, what you've done, it's hard to do. So give yourself a high five in terms of being able to accomplish the thing that that a small percentage of people actually do. So there's more people that are doing it now with YouTube Shorts, but it's still a difficult thing to do. So nice work on you, and congratulations early for crossing 100,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel.
Cherish that play button when you get it.
Yeah. Yep.
Cherish it. Put it up on the wall. Polish it. Clean it. Keep the dust off of it.
Yep.
Keep your brother. If you have a brother, away from it. Keep your siblings away from your play button.
Yeah.
Don't let them anywhere near it when it gets delivered. That's a little tip.
Yep.
Little bonus tip there.
Yep. Yeah. So anybody that doesn't know what's going on there, so basically D was in Mexico. Quick recap, just in case you don't know. D was in Mexico. Had the play button delivered to his condo. Told me, hey man, go get that. I don't trust them with that. With not losing it down there, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back. Sure, dude, I got you. I go and I pick it up, and then I end up losing the play button when I actually moved from my condo into the house. So that's kind of why he's And
then I ordered another play button. And then that play button disappeared somewhere between being delivered.
Did it really?
From Bangkok Immigration or Customs up to where I live.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get a second a third.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're on number 3. Maybe third time's the charm.
Interesting.
On that
yeah,
one,
I didn't know that.
Possibly.
Didn't know that. Ed, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing great.
Hey, Ed. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to be participating in any play button
celebrations.
Celebration. I'm sorry.
So you get yours.
Big E, listen, man. I'm stoked for you,
yeah,
but
dude, awesome.
but it hurts me a little
Melinda.
bit at the same time. A little bit jealous knowing that you're going to have a play button on your wall.
Yep. So Leia Monis, and they're changing the size of them too. Yeah, so
Really?
they're making them smaller now.
Of course they are.
Yeah, yes, they're making it smaller now.
Of course
Yep.
they are.
So Leamonis is our next channel here. They upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They have a music channel. The goal of the channel says I want to share my music with others. And the question is, how can I improve my channel because I'm getting really low views? So if you have a music channel, let me just see something here really quick.
How much smaller are they making them?
It's smaller. I'm not sure exactly how much smaller, but they're definitely making it smaller because more people are getting them just because of shorts. So they're just kind of reducing the size of the play buttons.
Yeah, so they're you know what, they should have like a shorts play button. It should be like a skinnier.
Oh,
like
that would be good. Like a vertical looking play button. That's a great idea. That would have been way better. Yeah. So what? Yeah. YouTube, holler, right?
Yeah.
Holler at D before you make decisions like that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. YouTube. You know, we got our phone numbers already. Your people know my people. Why are we even having this conversation?
Right.
They should have called.
You just should have called. Right.
Yeah.
Phone call away. Leamonis. So I'm looking at your YouTube channel right now, and I'm not going to pull it up on screen, but I'm looking at your YouTube channel right now, and one thing that I do want to bring to your attention is like right here you have a video. It's a music video, you know, for everybody that's watching, and on this music video. It says for the title, one, it has, you know, aqua light in the thumbnail, which doesn't, you know, say anything. You have, it looks like a person swimming in that particular thumbnail. It says Leamonis hyphen aqua light bar ambient instrumental music, right? So one thing that I recommend is that you know, if you're wanting to get more, you know, attention to your videos, one, publish more because you're not, you know, publishing a lot of content. So make sure you do have, you know, content up there. But two, make sure that you are focusing on things that will help the viewer be able to identify this quickly and easily from the homepage as something that has to do with music. So for example, you know, for me, I listen to a lot of music from my, you know, through YouTube. And one of the things that I'm looking for is things that make it clear to me that it's music, because when you load up a homepage, and you can see this in your, you know, case as well, when you load up a homepage, you know, YouTube's showing you all kinds of different things. So if it's a piece of music related content, you need to make it pretty clear that it's a piece of music related content for people that are listening to music, because when YouTube notices that people are listening to a lot of music, then YouTube will recommend music to them. So because of that, you have to be able to help people recognize it. One of the things that, you know, D has done on our Creator Mix YouTube channel is, you know, calling out, you know, in our particular case, you know, like content creators specifically. And, you know, by doing those sorts of things and making very targeted titles, that's helped bring, you know, some attention to that. Other music channels will do things to where they will go after emotions and feelings that the music will give. So like in your particular case where you put ambient instrumental music, you're like on the path right there. But the downside is you have to read through your channel name and the name of the name of the song, which doesn't mean anything to anybody. So you have to read through that part first in order to get to the ambient instrumental music part. So because of that, I would go in and I would reconfigure all of your titles so that you're focusing on the thing that the viewer is going to relate to first, and then put any identification stuff if you want to at the end of that in terms of your channel name or whatever. But really, man, I would just focus the entire title around, you know, around the emotion or the connection that you're trying to make with the viewer, instead of even putting the name of the song in there, because that doesn't mean anything to anybody, and putting the name of the channel in there as well, because as you know, as of this conversation, that also, you know, doesn't mean anything to some random stranger that's going to get recommended this video on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm going to add a little
additional,
bit. I'm going to add just a little bit of harshness to this.
Yeah.
And I'm not even looking at your channel, so this is an attack on you specifically.
And I'm going to give you one more title here, just to give you more ammo to work with here. So another one is there's a thumbnail and it says "Warmth of Waves" by channel name, and then underneath that it says Leamonis and then hyphen "Warmth of Love" official music video.
That's a thumbnail.
Thumbnail and title combination.
Yeah,
right
just
there.
let me say this as clearly as I can. And I don't mean this as an insult. I want you to understand this from a viewer's perspective.
If we weren't honest, it wouldn't help anybody.
Right.
Right.
I want you to understand this from a viewer perspective. The viewer that you're trying to reach doesn't know you. They don't care about you. They don't care about your name. They don't care about your channel name. They don't care about the title of your song. They don't care because they don't know who you are yet.
Yep. It's important to you.
It's important to you, and that's it. Okay? Once people find you and they like your music, then they're going to start to care, but then those people are already going to be on board anyway.
Right.
So what you need to do is focus on getting new people to your channel. And those new people don't care about your name. They don't care about the song. They care about what type of music is it, and how are they going to feel when they listen to the music, right? Because like you said, you're on the right path because you're talking about ambient instrumental. But what if you expanded that a little bit more? Ambient instrumental music to sleep, or for sleep, right? So tell them what the music is and tell them about the mood, or tell them what they can do for it, or what they can do with it. So when people are looking at that sort of thing, like if you're going to YouTube and you're like, yeah, I want some lo-fi music to sleep to, right? I don't care what your channel name is.
Right.
I don't care what the song title is.
Yep.
All I care about is this lo-fi music for sleep?
Right.
Yes or no? So think about that when you're putting your titles together. Take what you want out of it and think about what the viewer's actually looking for. And it's not you.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yep.
I know it might be a little bit harsh. That's not a personal attack, but that's just, think about what the viewer's actually looking for when they're trying to find music. There you go. Good luck, man. Music is tough.
Another thing too is make sure, like, you can go into your audience retention reports and you can actually look to see how people are responding to your music too. So like when you do get people clicking onto your video and then they go in and they're actually experiencing it, same with your music video, go in and actually see how people are responding to it. Because, another thing too is, you might be able to get some insights in terms of, like, let's say, for example, let's say you have big long intros on your music. Well, in that particular case, maybe you're losing a lot of people during that, really slow, soft build-up intro or something like that, where if you try that or you notice that, you might say, okay, well, for this next one I'm going to do, let me just, kind of start it right into the song, right as the song's starting to get going, so that I can, kind of skip that part and see if people respond to it differently there. And then that will start to kind of clue you in on how strangers, are responding to the music as well.
Now, I know this isn't what the type of music you're making, but Traveling with Special Abilities says, I'm always looking for calming music for dogs. So just take that. They're searching for calming music for dogs.
Yep.
Obviously, you're not making music for dogs. But if you
Hey,
were,
Amy, what's going on?
If you were, then that's probably something that you want to consider putting in, right? They're not looking for a specific artist. They're not looking for a specific title, a specific song title. They're specifically looking for calming music for dogs. So if you had a channel, which you don't, but if you did, where all of your music was music for animals, then you might want to think about all the possible different ways that somebody might be looking for music for particular animals. And that would be what I would try titling your videos as.
Yep. And the reason that that's important as well is it's not just like, it's helpful when people are literally typing into the search bar and you're showing up in the results there. But another place that's helpful is when it comes to YouTube's recommendations and how their recommendation system works. One of the things that their system is looking at are things that, okay, what is this particular viewer actually looking for? And if somebody's looking for that type of thing and your video matches that, even though it might not show up in search results there, if YouTube thinks that that video might be a good, fit for that particular person, then it can still recommend that video to them later as well. So because of that, it's beneficial, in different ways to take that approach that Dee's talking about. Brian G. Johnson in the house. What's going on, dude? Hope that you are doing fantastic. Brian G. Johnson, author of Tube Ritual Volume 1. I got a link to this down in the video description to help you jumpstart your journey to YouTube to your first 5,000 subscribers. Make sure that you check this out. Brian G. Johnson.
Hold that back
It
up.
was absolutely fantastic to hang out with you again. It's been 5 years since I saw Brian G. Johnson. So it's been great to hang out with you at VidSummit, man.
Yeah, I just want to say,
We got to do it again soon.
Hold that picture back up. If you took the text off of that picture,
Brian's a rock star, man. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
he's
picture,
got swagger. Yeah.
That picture
Yeah.
could be a title for Tube Ritual.
Yeah.
It could be his CD cover.
Yep.
Or
Could be a sneaker ad.
it could be a sneaker ad.
Yeah.
It could be an ad for Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah. Brian G. Johnson, the man, the myth,
Brian,
the legend.
The last time you saw Brian G, I think you left him hanging in Mexico.
Yeah, I think so, actually. Yeah,
Was
that might have been.
Or that was
No, I think that might have been. Yeah. Or no, because it was the next trip when you guys were down there. Yeah, so it wasn't that one. Yeah. So
So was the
next
last
one.
time
Yeah.
you saw Brian G was when we were all in Mexico together?
I think so. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Fun fact, the last time I was with Brian G, a seagull.
Yeah, we're walking down a boardwalk in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, right?
Puerto Vallarta, yeah.
However
And a
fancy way
seagull-
you say it. Yeah, or correct way you say
a
it.
seagull was like, oh, that
Evacuated all over D.
Yeah, here's thousands of people
Yep, and it picked
walking,
D.
and it was like that guy right there.
Yep, get him, fellas.
I'm gonna evacuate
Yeah.
everything I've had for the past week
Yep.
on this guy right there.
Yep.
And it
didn't even get a drop on, on the rest of us.
Yeah.
But so that was pretty entertaining.
I was bathed in seagull rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seagull rain.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was a bad day.
So next up, we've got YTC Bubbles Boom is the name of the YouTube channel. They upload when they have time. Been on YouTube for less than a year. The type of channel is Fortnite gaming. That's awesome. I play Fortnite almost every evening with my fiance.
Brian says it wasn't a seagull; it was some sort of pterodactyl. Some scary ass bird from Mexico.
Love it.
El pterodactyl, I believe is what it was called.
But the goal of the channel is to get monetized and build a stable channel, also to have fun learning and growing with my viewers. And the question is, how can I keep my viewers' attention in shorts? Also long form, is there a right way or wrong way of uploading your videos? So when it comes to uploading your videos, you're going to see a lot of content out there that's like, upload your videos the right way and, stuff like that. And, the whole idea there is they're just trying to teach you, just some best practices. Like they use the sensationalism to get you to click on the video so that, they'll teach you some best practices on things that you just need to keep in mind when you're uploading your content in terms of making your titles easy to read, that kind of stuff, making them compelling, those sorts of things. But when it comes to keeping a viewer's attention in shorts, it's going to come down to, how you grab their attention as soon as the short starts. So what you want to think about is your own experience in YouTube Shorts. So if you're sitting there and you're watching a short and you're sitting there just kind of flipping through, then you're flipping, you're watching for a second, seeing if anything grabs your attention. And if not, you're just moving right along, right? And the whole idea is that you want to start experimenting with different things that you're uploading. And like in your particular case, like let's say, for example, because you're doing, Fortnite, maybe you have a short that you started like right where you're, right in the middle of a fight with somebody and, you're both, kind of going back and forth. That might be something that would engage somebody, right as they start watching that short compared to, like you're dropping in. Right, that part's not exciting. Or maybe you're walking up on something because they don't have any real context with the game. Like let's say with the new or with the current game, like that prison area, right? Like if they see you running across the water and you're walking up to that prison area or running up to that prison area, they might not really have any real context of what's getting ready to happen. So if there's no type of buildup or anticipation that where they see somebody coming or they see you kind of zooming in on somebody or something like that, then in that particular case, there's no real context in terms of why they should stick around. But if they start it and as soon as that short comes up, you're right in the middle of it with somebody and you're exchanging fire, then in that particular case it's something exciting because then they get to try to be like, oh, okay, I wonder who's going to win this particular fight, so to speak. So you just want to think about that. When it comes to YouTube Shorts. When it comes to long form, it's a different game than YouTube Shorts because with YouTube Shorts, you have the shorts where they just pop up and then you get to deliver the content to people. With long form content, it's different because not only do you have to get people to click, but you also have to get them to enjoy the content. But when it comes to getting people to click, it's not just about getting people to click. It's also about setting the right expectation with that click. So for example, back in October of 2012, YouTube switched from just which videos were getting clicked on more to which videos were actually keeping people watching for a longer period of time because what ended up happening is people started getting super sensational on YouTube and they would upload garbage videos, but they were able to get people to click by, misleading people essentially. And it created a bad user experience. So because of that, they made that switch. And when they made the switch, then what ended up happening is people started realizing, okay, well, I can't just get people to, I can't just clickbait people. I also have to deliver on what it is that I'm, promising in the video. So then over time, over the last, 12 years, what's happened is YouTube has, transitioned into a point to where now when a viewer sees something, they expect something, from that video, and they expect the content creators, us, to deliver on what it is that they see. So because of that, you have to make sure that whatever it is that you're packaging your content with in terms of your topic, because that carries the most weight, your title and your thumbnail, you have to make sure that those are building the right expectation for the viewer. So for your next video, what you should think about is first, when you have your video idea and you're like, okay, I'm going to publish a video on this particular thing, the very first thing you should think about is like, okay, how am I going to package this up? So if this is the video topic, like how am I going to express this topic in a title and thumbnail? Because that's what's going to, tell people what's in the video. And through the way that I'm going to express that topic, what exact expectation is it going to set for the viewer, and what are they going to expect when they come into the video? And the reason that you want to do that particular part before you make the video is because then you can start your video based on the expectation that you believe the viewer is going to have when they're coming in. And then that way you can kind of meet them where they're at with their expectation, confirm that they're going to get what it is that they think that they're going to get, and then actually lead them into the content from there. So because of that, I just recommend that you start at that particular part of the process in terms of, the packaging, in terms of your topic, your title and thumbnail, and just thinking of that expectation and then matching that, when they come into the video. And then from there, you're going to start getting more people to actually, into the video, but then you start using your audience retention reports to see how people are responding to your videos once they get in there. And then from there, you get to start modifying things based on how people respond to each individual part of your video.
Yeah, so I just want to say that I'm a little bit disappointed in the community.
Why?
Because people were just laughing at the fact that a seagull did a job on me.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't make me feel good. I wouldn't laugh at you if you were in a similar situation. But I'm watching people laugh at my situation. It just doesn't feel good. I feel like I'm being bullied.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I'm being bullied. Roger Wakefield's in the house, ladies.
Roger Wakefield, what's going on, my dude? Hope that you're doing fantastic. It was awesome seeing you at Vid Summit. Hey, I got another one. I got to bring it in. I forgot when I was bringing it here. It's the same.
Bigger?
Yeah, but now we can both have a Wakefield cup in here because I'm keeping one at home because it's great. It's like my official coffee cup at home.
Yes.
But I'm going to bring the other one in here as well. So, dude, it was awesome seeing you. Even though it was brief, it was great to see you. Got to see your team as well on the last day before heading out there. Also,
tell me about this team.
It was great to see you. Melinda Elliott, congratulations. Thanks for the super chat. She just hit 5,000. Says thank you all for your help. Congratulations to you for 5,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. Absolutely love it. Homekeeping channel. What's going on? Hope you're doing great. Let's see here. So the next question that we have is from Travel Around Susie. She uploads one time per week or more, been on YouTube for a year or more. The type of channel is van life and traveling. The goal of the channel is to inspire people to get out and travel and plus make money while doing it. And the question is, thank you for all the information that you provide to us. My question is, I've been backing up all my clips and videos to an external hard drive now. My external hard drive is damaged. I feel sick to my stomach losing it all. Going forward, what should I do? Do you save all your stuff or do you have it in two places or one? Thank you. It was nice meeting you at Vid Summit. It's nice meeting you as well. For me, one thing that I do is I'll back things up to an external and then I back up that external so that I have that because I've been in a similar situation. So when I learned this very early on, when I first started my YouTube channel, I had 10 videos in the can. I was like ready to go. And I did 10 videos and then I published the first video. And I used to go to a coffee shop and work at a coffee shop every day. And I had a hard drive in my backpack that had those 10 videos on it. And I got in a motorbike accident, fell on my back, and it broke that hard drive. And I lost all of that footage. I lost, they were completed videos. So I lost all those edits, all that time, everything that was involved. And because of that, I learned at that time that if I'm using external drives, which is what I do now, that I need to back up, that external drive onto another drive. So I recommend that you do that. There's other things that you can do as well. It's called a RAID. Am I correct?
Yes.
With that?
Yes.
So you can get RAID systems. You can look these up on Amazon, but basically what they are is it's a box essentially, and then that box has multiple hard drives in it. And the whole idea with those particular boxes is that it's a fail safe. So if one drive fails, that you have the other ones there to kind of that are all backed up. So you have additional versions of what it is that you have backed up, so to speak. So you can look into that. And then, of course, you can upload your content to the cloud, but keep in mind, some of the services can start getting, costly, once you start getting into like multiple terabytes and things like that. So initially you can start out on something like Dropbox, but if you start uploading like tons of stuff, then you might want to start looking into like Amazon S3 or something like that, where you can store stuff over there. And it's a little bit of a better price for you. Let's see here. Living in Omaha, David Matney. What's up, dude? Awesome seeing you at Vid Summit. Says, Nick, what were your top 3 takeaways from Vid Summit this year? One, Tom Boulet's, I think that's how you say his name, Tom Boulet's talk on AI and how AI is basically coming for our jobs. Yeah, so that one was pretty good. For me, also, it was just great, connecting with everybody. And the replays just came out, so I haven't had a chance to watch all the replays yet. I'm going to be doing that this week when my brain's a little bit, less cloudy, so to speak. So if you ask that question again next week, I'll be able to give you a better, answer for it because I'm going to go through every single, presentation on the actual replays, which reminds me, for anybody that's here that wanted to go to Vid Summit for the information, but you couldn't make it for whatever reason, the Vid Summit replays are now available. So if you are somebody that does want that information, you can get that information at vidsummit.com. Let's see here. Hey, Chad, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. So next up on our list, we have... another thing that I learned at VidSummit is Nate's presentation. So Nate Black had an amazing presentation at VidSummit. One, he's an amazing presenter, but the information that he was sharing was also really great. So for anybody that's read the book Primal Branding, it was along the lines of the insider language, ideas when it comes to like deeper branding concepts with your channel. But anybody here that watches Nate Black's content, how he starts his videos with like howdy and those types of things in his videos, basically his workshop was about that and creating that insider language that your audience will connect to. But a really good presentation there as well, and just really good information with that that particular topic and the examples that he gave as well. Daniel and Gabby crushed it too.
Did they?
Yeah, they did really good. Yeah, if you watch the replays,
I haven't watched the replays yet.
Yeah, they did a great job. Great job.
Yeah.
So Shadow Myths Art is our next channel here. They upload when they have time, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel is creepy stories and uplifting behind-the-scenes meetings of my oil paintings. And the goal of the channel is driving traffic to my website, and I love telling creepy stories using my Shadow Myths cards. And the question is, for thumbnail titles, I've been adding creepy story of so that people know what the video is about. I'm assuming that most people don't read this initially. I'm also told that the title should have 3 words or so in them. For the thumbnail, you mean? So I keep using the creepy story of in my thumbnail. So, something that's fine if it helps people that are interested in creepy stories identify that it is about creepy stories. I would definitely lean more on the imagery if you can, but having something like that in your thumbnail just to help them identify that it is about a creepy story is perfectly okay. But one thing that you do want to try to avoid is directly duplicating that in your title. So for example, if your title is creepy story of, this person, in this haunted house or something, in that particular case, also having that, in your thumbnail is a little bit redundant where you could just lean on the imagery for it. So because of that, if you are doing that separate, then I think using creepy story of in your thumbnail is something that might help the people that you're trying to reach identify it's about something that they care about. What I recommend that you do, and I always recommend this for, everybody, is, whatever it is that you're currently doing, if you have questions about it, and you're like, yeah, I'm not really 100% this is the right approach, make sure that you're testing your thumbnails. So YouTube has the option now where we can upload 3 different thumbnails. So you can just upload 2 if you want to where you just have one with text and one without, and see if you notice a pattern. Do that over a nice handful of videos at different intervals. So maybe, have one on, to where it's testing that first week or the first, 24 hours, and then another for the first week, and then, make the change again, for like the first like 28 days. Then in that particular case, it will help you over time be able to identify, okay, well, typically when I upload videos with or without text on them, people typically will respond better. And when you do that over a nice handful of videos, then you'll be able to get proof in one way or the other that one typically works best for you. Beaver Zero, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. It was awesome meeting you at VidSummit. He says Nick's taller than you think he is. Yeah, the camera angles are the camera angles are definitely tricky. Yeah, I always get that. At conferences. Let's see here. Dogfather's Barbecue. What's going on, dude?
That seems to be the one thing that I always hear. Nick's taller than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I hear that too. Yeah. Wow, you're a lot taller in real life. Absolutely.
Yeah,
what's the camera angle? Nate Black is tall too. It's my second time bringing up Nate right now. He's tall too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dogfather's Barbecue. I got your shirt. Yeah, I got your shirt. I was actually wearing that. I think it was yesterday, or the day before. Says I always on the fence about VidSummit. I finally went this year and met Nick and Brian G. Johnson, TV among others. Great guys. I'll be at VidSummit every year now. That's what happens when you go to VidSummit. Yeah, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So let's see here. So next up on the list, we have Geology Dude is our next channel. They upload when they have time. The type of channel is science education. The goal of the channel is influence and eventually some money. And the question is, the community post tab has an archive area. Can you put old posts there and repost them in the future? Can you organize them into topics or do other things with them? Can viewers access them? My community post page has over 300 posts in the pile file organization makes it inconvenient to view old posts. Thanks so much for all of your help and good advice. So when it comes to the community posts, for that archive, I'm not sure if you can actually republish them. It's kind of along the first question that we had today. I'm not sure if you can republish them directly out of that archive or not, or if that's just a way to kind of save them. When it comes to viewers accessing them, I don't believe that they can get the archive posts. I think that's just for your archival reasons, so you can hold on to them. And in terms of, let's see here. It makes it inconvenient to view old posts, and can view old posts in the future. Yes, I think we got that covered. Can you organize them into topics? Yeah, you can. Yeah, so no there. So yes, okay. So yeah, so we got that one covered. Haradam Jane, thanks for super chat, says I deleted videos not getting reach. What to do now? So the thing to do now is first try to figure out, before you delete videos, try to figure out why they're not getting reach. Is it because of the topic itself wasn't good? Was it because, you didn't package it well in terms of the thumbnail and title? Was it that once people came into the video itself that they didn't stick around for very long? Like, just deleting the videos and then republishing those videos isn't going to do anything for you. What you want to do is when you publish something that people didn't respond to, is you would just want to, analyze it and try to figure out why. Because when it comes to YouTube, the thing that matters the most is, okay, you publish a video, how do people on the platform respond to it? If they respond well to it at a competitive level against all of the other content that YouTube is showing the particular groups of people that they're showing your content to, then your video will continue to get views. It might be a lot, it might be a little, but you'll continue to get views. If you publish something and your videos are not at a competitive level against the other videos that YouTube is showing to those groups of people, then in that particular case, your video is going to be deprioritized in favor of the content that is getting a good response from people, which will be prioritized. So because of that, like, there's nothing that you can do in terms of like, I'm just going to delete something and then republish it and just hope that it does better. If people don't respond well to it, they're just not going to respond well to it. If they respond, well to it, then they're going to respond well to it, right? So because of that, I wouldn't try to game anything or anything like that. But what I would do is I would just try to learn from the videos that you publish that don't do well, and then try to do the next videos better. Any additional thoughts on that, D?
Nope, but I see Viper's in the house.
Viper, man about tech.
What up, Viper?
What's going on, dude? Hope that you're doing fantastic. It was awesome seeing you at Vid Summit, as always, dude.
Hyped as usual, I'm guessing?
Yep, he introduced Roberto and I when we did our presentation. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, he always brings the fire, always brings the heat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So let's see here. So next up, we've got... let's see here. Eric Waite Whiskey Studies, been on YouTube for a year or more. He does whiskey studies. The goal of the channel is to survive the whiskey apocalypse. The question is, who let the dogs out? Roof, roof, roof.
Chris,
yeah, well,
Chris.
Yeah, I don't know, but we got to be careful. Nobody tries to eat them.
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, we got to be careful. Nobody tries to eat them if they get out.
No eating the dogs, people. No eating the cats, no eating the dogs.
Good stuff, good stuff.
I don't know what's going on in America.
Yeah.
I'm watching the news.
Yeah, watch
Stop
the news.
eating
It looks
the pets.
crazy over there. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Stop eating the cats. Stop eating the dogs. Stick to other animals like chickens and cows and pigs, please.
Ed says, will Vid Summit ever come to Ohio? I'm not sure, but here's what I can tell you, man, is it's worth the trip to Texas. Like, it used to be in LA, so it was a little bit further away. But, now that it's in Texas, the location is way better. It's safer. Everything. Like, it's a much better location now than it used to be. And it's a little bit closer to Ohio. If I can come...
Not if you're eating the cats, Ed. It's Vid Summit's not coming to Ohio if you're eating the cats, Ed. If I can come from Asia, you can surely come from Ohio, right? So hopefully we'll see you there next year. Stop eating the cats and dogs in Ohio, and we'll talk to Daryl, see if we can get a Vid Summit, Ohio.
So next up,
what are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, Roger says, welcome to Texas. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Roger, man, it's such a much better, experience, there in Texas than it was in LA. Like, it's a little bit inconvenient for me just based on
a little.
Well, no, I'm saying, going from, Arizona.
There's a lot of routes.
Yeah, going from Arizona to LA was easier, and then just straight from LA back versus Arizona to Texas, then back to LA and then back. Yeah. So it's, it creates a little bit of, extra stuff there, but totally worth it. And, the area is so much just better. You feel safer. It's nicer.
LA
just everything about
LA
it.
is just a mess.
Yeah.
I know the last time I was in LA, I just was not excited to go back. No. Just having to walk around, and there was, it's an unfortunate situation, but like just having to walk around and like crazy people like walking past you, you know, following you around on the street and stuff like that. It's just, well, wasn't excited for
Daniel
that.
Patel in the house. What's going on, dude? Hope you're doing awesome. Says Vid Summit Dallas is absolutely amazing. We had a blast this year. Yeah, it was great. And you and Gabby crushed it, man. Like that. I was just telling D, I don't know if you were here, but I was just telling D probably like 5 minutes ago how you guys crushed your presentation. Let's see here. So Daniel Miller says, I won the Vid Summit Virtual Press, reached out on Twitter and never got a response. Any chance I can at least get access to the recorded version? Absolutely, you can. Reach out on DM. So I had one person, you might be that person that I never heard anything from. So in my Twitter DMs, I don't have anything from you. I don't believe.
Filtered DMs.
So filtered.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So X has DMs that they'll filter. So, like, maybe if you're not following one another, sometimes they put those messages in the filtered area.
Okay, so yeah, shoot me a DM on Twitter, and yeah, I'll definitely get you sorted. If you cannot DM me based on, I don't see any filters. If you can't DM me, then in that particular case, just at me on Twitter, and then I'll DM you, and then we can start that conversation there.
What do you mean you don't see filters?
Yeah, I don't see filters.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have to show me after the stream.
Give it to me.
Let's see here. Yeah, I can show you right here. Look.
Should be at the top. Message requests.
Right. And then I go in here and I just see a list.
Right. So those are the people. That's what I mean. That filters people.
Oh yeah. I look in there.
It filters people into that.
That's the first place I look when I do giveaways and stuff.
All right.
All right. So let's see here. So next up on our list here, we've got Trying to Learn Bikes. They do motorcycle maintenance content. The goal of the channel is upload videos to help people trying to learn their bikes, their best mechanic. And the question is, having a motorcycle channel, there is a noticeable seasonal low view count in the winter months. Is there a strategy that you could suggest that might soften that lull in activity, or just part of the game, and I should ride it out until things pick up in the spring? So yeah, in that particular case, maybe start talking a little bit early about, kind of preparing for spring and, stuff like that. Because, motorcycle enthusiasts, I, had a motorcycle when I was in the States. Motorcycle enthusiasts are motorcycle enthusiasts all year round. It's just they can only ride, for certain parts of the year. So just talking about, things that might be of interest to you.
How to store your bike throughout the winter.
Yeah.
You're in struggle. You could also get content that you shoot.
Hey, hold this for a second. I need to
you could also get content earlier on through the year to kind of push through the year. So everybody, I don't know. I mean, I know Daniel Patel's a motorcycle rider. Maybe during the winter seasons, people can live vicariously through you. Maybe do some ride-alongs. I don't know if you do moto vlogs or not, but you could make content to carry you through the winter and get through that way. That's one possibility. I do that a lot as well. Like before I go traveling somewhere, I love we were just talking about this. I like watching walk-along videos where people will take like a camera or a GoPro or something and just like walk around the city streets. Test something like that out with your community or with your viewers and see how they're going to respond to it. Roger, I hate that I didn't get to see you this year. And Daniel, I heard you absolutely crushed it. Looking forward to seeing that on the replay. I've got access to the replays, and I can't wait to go through them and watch everybody. Explore Norway says, my channel is very seasonal. So if you're in Norway, you're one of the channels that, well, not your channel in particular, but Norway. I love watching people walk through Norway. The little towns in Norway. It's absolutely.
We were just talking about that.
That's what I'm saying. We're just talking about this. So they're saying my channel
really quick on the motorcycle channel.
Yeah.
Another thing that you might want to try as well is I have a friend of mine that has an electric car channel, and on his channel, one thing that he did that was really cool is he started developing relationships with like major manufacturers of electric cars. Not only did that open up tons of doors for him in terms of like them traveling him to places to like showcase stuff and things like that, but he also got the lead on like vehicles that were coming out. So another thing that you might want to do when it comes to winter season is if they release motorbikes, around, spring and whatnot, then, trying to develop some relationships with like the media people at the motorcycle brands to where you can start talking about, teasing like some of the new stuff that's coming out and things like that, maybe even for accessories as well, so that you kind of give people that reason to come in and watch because you're kind of ahead of the curve compared to the other people that might be in the space. Go ahead.
They're going to watch something, right? So people are inside. They're motorcycle enthusiasts. They're going to watch something. What are you watching? So ask yourself that. What do you watch if you're not watching motorcycle content during the winter? because your viewers are probably also looking for something else to watch. Maybe they're looking for other motorcycle content, living vicariously through other channels, or maybe you can, strip your bikes down and rebuild them up like you're indoors, teaching them how to do something. Just because it's wintertime doesn't mean that you still can't make content about your bike. You just have to do it indoors.
Yep.
And I'm not looking at your channel, so I don't know the nuance of what it is that you're doing, but I'm pretty sure you can figure out ways to keep it going for a while.
Heradium Jane says, I'm not getting views because I deleted videos and YouTube has thrown down my reach. What should I do? Please help me in some way. I deleted old videos. So if you deleted old videos, there's nothing you can do. Like, they're gone. YouTube actually has a fail safe in place to where you actually have to confirm that those videos are being deleted. And you have to say, yes, I know these videos are being permanently deleted off of YouTube. So that is that's you have to accept responsibility for that. YouTube, isn't, you did that action. In terms of YouTube throwing down your views or throwing down your reach, they don't do that. So, because you deleted your videos, what might have happened is that when you delete videos from YouTube, it deletes those people that had recently interacted with that content from, like, it deletes you from their viewer history. So if you had people that were actively engaged in your content and they were only watching those videos and you deleted them all, and then you publish something new, then some of those people may or may not have seen the new videos that you published. But in terms of them holding down your reach, they're not, holding you down in any way. It's going to be based on how people are responding to your videos, like I mentioned before. So the best thing that you can do right now is accept that those videos are toast and say, okay, those videos are gone. So now I need to start building that audience back up again. I need to start, publishing, videos. I need to start, learning what it is that my audience wants from me. And I need to start delivering on that and, start working on that consistently, with what it is that you are doing on the channel. That's the only way forward. Right. So, so I just recommend that, right now that you're like, okay, what's my next video going to be? Why is this going to be important for the people that I'm trying to reach? What type of thumbnail am I going to put on that video to help them identify it's about something that they care about and grab their attention? How am I going to make that particular video compelling from the title standpoint so I can actually get people to click on it once they come into that video? How am I going to reassure them that they're in the right place based on their expectation that they got from their thumbnail and title, so on and so forth, as you work your way all the way through the video. So I'd focus on that moving forward so that you can kind of let that other stuff go and then start moving forward on building everything back up again. Renee Ritchie in the house. What's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. Says Nick, great seeing you at VidSummit. You too. Says can't believe. It says Dean can't believe Nick left you at Starbucks again.
Every time, Renee, he just gets up and goes, leaves me. He's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yep. In the car, gone.
As I take your ticket, right?
Yeah.
Your airplane ticket and your VidSummit ticket.
Yeah, poof, gone. Leaves me.
Yep. So next up on our list, we've got. Yeah, it was awesome seeing you too, man. As always. Next up, we've got the Beat Qualizer. Been on YouTube for a year more. They do drum content. The goal of the channel says I want to be able to create great content. And the question is, what can I do to improve my subs? So people are going to subscribe to your YouTube channel because they get value from what it is, from what it is that you're doing. So the best thing that you can do is focus. And I know this sounds like a really general kind of like a cop-out answer, but this is the way that it works on YouTube, is if you make content that people enjoy, and when they watch a video, they're like, wow, this is good. I want more of this. People are going to subscribe. There's absolutely, when you ask people to subscribe and you ask them in the right way, you can increase the amount of people that do subscribe per video. However, if you just focus on making really good content, then people are going to subscribe to your channel, like, regardless. So because of that, just focus on making good content and do it, consistently, and show up consistently, publish on a regular basis, and people will subscribe to your YouTube channel as long as they're getting value from what it is that they are doing. And if they're not right now, then in that particular case, then what you have to do is you have to say, okay, if I have a drumming channel and, I'm trying to either teach people how to play drums or I'm showing them my drums, then I need to make sure that I'm thinking about them first. And I need to make sure that everything that I'm publishing, that I'm thinking about, okay, this particular type of viewer that I'm trying to reach, why would they care about this video that I'm getting ready to publish? Why would this be important to them? And make sure that you're just qualifying the content before you publish. each video or before you even make them, and make sure that you are being very clear about the value that people are getting from the content that you're publishing. You're trying to make every video as good as you possibly can. And when you publish something that doesn't do as good as you would like it to, then analyze that particular video, try to figure out why, and then try to do better with your next video. That's the path forward. And Hayden Jane, thanks for the super chat again, says there's no reach on the channel after deletion. So here's what I want you to do. If you go into your impressions on YouTube, you'll see that YouTube is showing impressions on your videos. So if you stretch it out over the 28-day range after you publish a video, you're going to see that YouTube is trying to show your videos to somebody. And if they show your videos to somebody, that's called an impression, and basically your video is on somewhere being shown to somebody somewhere on YouTube for more than a second, and that counts as an impression. So if you go into your analytics and you see that you're getting impressions, that means that they are showing your content to people. But if you're not getting any views, that means that they're showing your content, but people are not clicking on your content, which then it falls back on you. So if you notice that YouTube is not, if you publish videos and you're getting 0 impressions, then in that particular case, reach out to Team YouTube on Twitter and make that report to them, send screenshots and say, hey, I'm publishing all these videos and I'm not getting any impressions on these videos that I'm publishing, and they will look into it. But if you are publishing videos and you're getting any any impressions on that content, then in that particular case, YouTube is showing your content to people. But like we mentioned earlier, and like Beaver Zero is saying right now, when you do delete those, videos, then, that viewer history of all those people, you have been removed from that. So because of that, when you deleted those videos, you definitely, it sounds like, based on on what you're saying here, it sounds like you definitely, caused an impact of some kind that, that might have been negative. But the only way forward is just being like, okay, that happened. Nothing I can do about it. So, let me, keep on trucking. So what I want you to do is hold on. I upload shorts before deletion was getting 10,000 views again, right? Viewer history. So, so make sure that, just go and look and see if you're getting impressions. So if you're getting impressions on your shorts, then YouTube is showing your content to people.
Hey, Herman. Nice to see you. It's been a while.
Hey, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. Nice to see you. Let's see here. Next up, we've got Explore Norway. They do travel advice Norway. The goal of the channel is to help tourists plan their Norway journey, show things that are in no other travel guide. Question is, I was recently in a place just above UNESCO World Heritage Fjord site in Norway.
Fjord, you got it right.
Basically, a viewpoint known only to the locals. It was extremely difficult to find any information about it, but below it, 1.5 million tourists pass every year, and it's within sight of one of Norway's most famous viewpoints. How would you package a video to keep people watching or even clicking? Because even if it's only 8 kilometers away, you have to drive the long way around for 3 hours and then drive up the mountain where there's no mobile phone coverage. So really quick, as somebody that, travels occasionally, and, D's more like, he's like a million times more adventurous than I am. The fact that it's 3 hours away doesn't mean anything. Like, that's more of like, oh, wow, that means that not a lot of people are probably going here, which means that it's probably even, more worth the trip to go check it out, right?
Unknown secrets of Norway.
Yeah.
Hidden gems of Norway. Boom. That sort of thing.
Yep.
Off the beaten path in Norway.
Yep.
Tourists don't go to this amazing spot.
Yep. Don't call it out by name if nobody knows the name, right? So be vague about what it is and explain it as something like Dee was just saying that they, need to check out, that nobody knows about, that kind of stuff. Here's
the problem. When you take amazing places like that and you put them on the internet,
then they're going to become,
Then they become a location.
Yeah.
I always struggle with that.
Yeah.
I struggle with that, and I see that that's happened to Japan, and I see a lot of people who live there talking about, the whole Instagram thing and YouTube. All these influencers have gone to Japan and really put a highlight in all these locations. And because of it, overcrowding, just mass tourism, unlike they've ever seen. So, I think that stuff comes with a double-edged sword. So just, I don't know, like if you live in Norway and you want to keep some places to yourself, I would just maybe not put everything on the internet. Just, kind of putting that out there.
Colin Michael, what's going on, dude?
Hey,
Hope
Colin.
you're doing great. It was awesome hanging out with you at Vid Summit. Yeah, we stayed up there. It was like the first night. We like just him and me. Like we just stayed up.
Colin's great. Yeah.
I think it was like maybe 1 a.m., maybe 2 a.m. Yeah, we just kept going. Like we were just sitting there chatting it up. Man, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So Durian says, finally made it to your live from Hawaii. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you have a good time here today.
Aloha.
iCast Enterprises, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing fantastic. And My World of Metaphysics says Vid Summit was excellent. Yep, everybody's still kind of buzzing off of Vid Summit. Me too. Absolutely love it. It was great. So let's see here. So they don't live nearby. Explore Norway says.
Oh,
yeah. So they're like, yeah, we're throwing it under the bus.
Throw them under the bus.
Yeah, for the people that live there.
Burn
Yeah,
Norway to the ground.
Yeah,
burn Norway to the ground. Burn it all down, man.
So next up, we got Punisher World. They upload one time per week or more. They've been making videos for 1 year or more. They have a gaming channel. The goal of the channel is live streaming and a first look videos. And the question is, how can I improve and get more views? It's a really good question. So when it comes to improving and getting more views on your content, the single most important thing that you can do is pay attention. And when it comes to paying attention, that means paying attention to how people are responding to every aspect of what it is that you're doing. Pay attention to not just your content, but also people who make content like yours. Pay attention to what it is that they do and what it is that people respond to well and what it is that people respond to not that well on other people's content that make content similar to yours. In addition to that, you want to pay attention to just YouTube in general and just content in general, and pay attention to the content that does well on YouTube. What are they doing? How do their videos look? How do they sound? How are they talking to the camera? Like, what are the topics, on the videos? How are the videos structured, themselves? When the videos first start, what are people doing, right? Like, when you pay attention, that's the step number one on increasing your just improving what it is that you're doing, and also getting more views. Because when you start actively paying attention to what it is that you're doing and what it is that others are doing, then you start getting a lot of insights because you're actively trying to find those things. You're like, okay, well, if I'm looking for all these things that people are doing that keep people watching and keep people engaging, then you're going to find those things because you're actively looking for those things. If you're just watching as a viewer, then it's different because then you're just watching to enjoy the content. But if you're watching for the sake of paying attention, then in that particular case, you're literally studying what's happening with your content, what's happening with all of your competitors, what's happening with content at scale on YouTube, and that by itself will make you a better creator because you're going to start noticing things. So if you want to improve, that would be step number one, is just start paying attention. That's like one of the most impactful, if not the most impactful thing that you can do. Roger Wakefield co-signs that, says pay attention to every single detail. Yep. Yeah, everything. Yeah, like the real good stuff is in that nuance, right? That's where you find like the really good stuff. Let's see here. Next up, we've got Gardening with Bear Brown. Gardening with Bear Brown. They have been on YouTube for a year or more. They do gardening content. The goal of the channel is to teach others how to grow food and to go full time one day. The question is, did you have an idea of how you're going to monetize your channel by year 3? I mainly depend on ads. I wish I could have went to Dallas last weekend, but my fear of flying is bad. Do you have anything for that? So I have a friend of mine, the same guy that I talked about earlier that has the electric car channel. He also had a fear of flying, and somehow he managed to get over it. And he, has fortunately been able to travel all over the world to work with like all these amazing car brands and stuff. So I think it just comes down to just being like, I'm going to go for it anyway. I don't know if that means taking Dramamine or I have no idea, but that is something that, people do overcome. And if other people do, then there's a chance that, you might be able to as well.
I used to be terrified of flying.
Did you really?
Oh,
I would
yeah.
never guess that.
Oh, yeah,
years.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was terrified of flying, and I still don't like flying. But I don't like doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And you just do them anyway.
Yeah.
So, how do you get over your fear of flying? You just get on the plane.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want
a choice. You're locked in at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants to get on a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like flying. I've been on planes with extreme turbulence where people are flying out of their seats and all of that stuff. And I'm just like, well, we're going down. That was it. But you just got to keep flying. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, I was terrified to fly. Yeah. It used to be really bad. It used to be really, really bad. But now I'm just like, yeah, I want, get on the plane.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Right.
You want to go somewhere, you're going to get on the plane.
Right. Yeah, it's good. So let's see here. So next up, we have, we did Gardening with Bear Brown.
Chantel says, I'm pretty scared. I was pretty scared about doing my first long haul flight. And now I'm not. Yeah, that was another thing too. So when I used to fly domestically or short trips, I think I was more terrified of flying than when I started doing long trips. Like once you've committed to like a 12-hour flight, it's like that wears it down quite a bit. You're like, well, if I'm in this thing for 12 hours or 11 hours, like making those flights from, the U.S. over to Asia, or from, the U.S. down to like Sao Paulo, Brazil, or something like that. Like those are really long flights. And those kind of help you get over it over time.
And the other part of this question was, did you have an idea of how you're going to monetize your channel by year 3? I did, actually. So I had the fortunate opportunity to work on another channel when I was getting started. So my 5 months in, I had 150 subscribers, not 150,000, 150 subscribers on my YouTube channel after 5 months of grinding it out. And I had the opportunity to work with somebody on another channel, Daryl Eves. We worked on that other channel. I learned a lot on that other channel, and I caught the YouTube bug in terms of like, I knew this is something that I wanted to do because we started, getting some momentum on that channel. And unfortunately, at that moment in time, I had my, regular stuff that I was doing, for income. And then I was also doing YouTube. And at that moment in time, because everything was still new, I wasn't making money, on that other channel. And what ended up happening is I caught the YouTube bug. So I knew I wanted to do it, but I knew that the only way that I could do it, because that particular content, it just took a really long time to, to make. So I was kind of burning the candle at both ends, and I knew that the only way to, keep moving forward was to come back to this channel and start talking about things that, were just easier for me to talk about in terms of, the content itself, where I didn't have to, spend, days, researching a topic and things like that. So I did that, but I knew from my experience over there that if I came back to this channel, I needed to start monetizing it right away. So before I actually started, actively publishing on this channel again, I built a website where I was selling video graphics. And I also offered services off of that, where I would make like custom branding packages for people. And those two things combined made it to where I started generating, like real income off of the channel relatively quickly. But it took, let's see here, like a year and a half for me to even get that into motion, right? For me to even be able to like see that. So then from there, once I deployed that, then I was able to, get it moving relatively quickly. But it took me, like a year and a half before I was even, ready for that, so to speak. So, those types of things can take time. So, right now, if you're in that spot where you're like, hey, I'm not really sure how I'm going to monetize things and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, that thing that I mentioned before about paying attention, there's another side of that, which is like, just actively, spending a lot of time like brainstorming and thinking about the problems that you are having and thinking about how you can overcome those problems. So if one of the things that you're trying to do is monetize your YouTube channel, and this is for everybody here, right? Everybody in the chat right now. If one of the things that you're trying to do is monetize your YouTube channel, then, if you just stay in motion, like, hey, I'm just publishing videos, but you're not taking a minute to sit down and think to yourself like, okay, how are other people making money off of YouTube? How are other people in my niche making money off of YouTube? What people or what companies are working with content creators on YouTube? What people or companies are working with content creators in my niche? Are people promoting things as an affiliate? Are people making their own products? Like, what are people doing? Like, as soon as you start, actively trying to figure that stuff out, you're going to start finding solutions. And when you start finding those solutions, the next step on those solutions is like, okay, now I know what people are doing. So if this is what other people are doing, then let me start experimenting with some of this stuff on my channel. And then you'll quickly start to learn, when I do these types of, things on my channel, or I mention these types of things or whatever, then I can generate some income. When I do these types of things, it doesn't generate that much income, right? So then you start to be able to start prioritizing the things that, generate more money and that sort of thing. But, you just got to be, paying attention, and you need to, actively be, trying to solve that problem. So I actually have a video on my channel that you might find helpful if you're in that, if you're in that spot right now. If you go to YouTube search and you type in how to start a YouTube channel to make money, and then you put my name, at the very end of it, then the video is going to pop up. It might just come up by itself if you don't put the name, I'm not sure. But if you put that into YouTube search, a video is going to pop up, and I talk about how to research, different niches and how to, just kind of determine how people are making money so that you can just get an idea of, your best kind of approach to take. And with that, there's also a free Google Doc to where I just kind of have broken down a, spreadsheet where you can start kind of charting, other people in your niche, or maybe even other niches, entirely, just how exactly people are making money on YouTube. So it'll just just paint the picture, because you're going to write it all out in front of you, of exactly, all the different ways that people, that you're watching or that are in your niche are generating income. So you can start figuring out from there, like, what it is that you're comfortable with, or what it is that, you might think would be a great fit for your audience or for you. And then you can start experimenting with actually, putting some of that content out. Let's see here. So next up on our list, we've got Team Reese Travels is our next question. They do daily content. It's a family travel channel. The goal of the channel is to inspire parents to travel with their children. The question is there a way to give channel members early access to a video and still premiere it for other viewers? So you can give members access to a video. I'm not sure if that cancels out the premiere or not. I don't think that it does. You might need to manually go in and switch it to a premiere in order to get it into a premiere, but you can give members early access. Ritorez, thanks for the super chat, says, I spend like 22 hours a week editing. Do you recommend hiring someone to help? Even I think no one would do it as carefully as me. So that thing right there, that I don't think no one would do it as carefully as me, that is the thing that stands in front of a lot of content creators and a lot of people that are hiring for anything. So one thing that I heard a long time ago that I thought was a really interesting perspective was that even if somebody does something, like I think it was something like 80% as good as you might do it, to where they're not 100%, but they do it 80% as good as you do it, that it's still getting done, and it's still opening you up for time to think about either other things that would help make things better in your YouTube business, or to where you could create more content and get more content out, to where basically you would lose 20% on what you think is good, and you would still be able to have the advantage there. So because of that, that's one thing. The second thing is, as creatives and as people that are biased to our own decisions, we tend to think that our way is the best way. This can leak into everything. It can leak into, making, content. It can leak into, business decisions. It can leak into, everything, around what it is that we're doing. And the reality is, there is our way of doing things, and it might be the best, but it also might not be the best. And there might be other people that you can bring into what it is that you're doing that might be way better and more detailed at what it is that you're doing than you currently are. So because of that, one thing that I recommend is that if you're like, hey, this is just taking me too long, and since it's taking me so long and it's making it where it's hard for me to put content out because it's taken such a long period of time, then in that particular case, try it. Right? Like if you bring somebody on as an editor, it doesn't mean that they're gonna have to edit for you forever. It means that you can have a trial period where, like, okay, for the next like 3 months, we're gonna edit some videos, we're gonna work together. You're gonna edit these videos. I'm gonna give you feedback, and then you're gonna learn through that feedback. The way that I like to do things, and then you basically train that person to get up to what you think is a good quality level during that period of time. And if they hit the mark, then in that particular case, then you just keep moving forward. If you're like, yeah, this person's not even close, and your audience and your stats also prove that person is not close, then in that particular case, that's where you would say, okay, well, this isn't working out, and then you would let that person go. So because of that, I would try not to stand in your own way, so to speak. If you're like, hey, like if you're not editing because you enjoy editing, you're editing because you kind of have to, and that's, why it is that you're doing it, then in that case, I would definitely, try to find somebody. I enjoy editing, and I still have an editor, but I still edit my videos sometimes. So with me, one of the things, I was the same exact way. Like when I first started looking for editors, I was like, yeah, there's no way, because these videos, I sit there and I do all these like little details and things like that. The funny thing is all those little details that that I spend time on and I enjoy when I'm editing. If those little details aren't in there, most often people don't even notice. Right? It's not even something that, the viewer will notice, and there'll be zero impact whatsoever in the audience retention. In some cases, if they're like a bad editor, then yeah, you're going to have that negative effect. But like, standing your own way as a, well, I do it the best and nobody's going to be able to do it as good as I do. In my opinion, I think you're, kind of, standing in your own way and working against yourself, where if you can just say, you know what, let me just try training somebody on what I think is the best, then in that particular case, I think you're going to, give yourself a lot more room to grow when it comes to, what it is that you're doing on YouTube. And, keep in mind, for those of you that don't have, editors and things like that, like, you don't have to have editors. It's just, some people don't like editing. And if you don't like editing, then yeah, you should offload that, because it's going to be that constant kind of poke at you, so to speak, when you're putting everything together, that might take away some of the, joy that you get from making content. Some people thrive on camera, but they suck at editing, or they just don't enjoy editing. So those types of scenarios are where you might want to look for an editor. Or if you're like, hey, if I get an editor, then I'll be able to, whatever X my output, then in that case, that's also where you might want to, look into editors. But just try, when it comes to these sorts of things, to not stand in your own way. Like, one way to think about this is, when you have like major motion pictures, right? You have, people that are hired to edit those major motion pictures. And with some of those people that are doing major motion pictures that are hiring people, they're hiring people that had to learn how to, do good movie edits. And now they're so good that, they get hired in Hollywood, but they weren't always, that particular way. And even with that, there's probably other editors that might be able to sit in that same chair and work on that same movie and put out a better edit. But the edit that the people that get hired to edit it do is definitely good enough to where, it makes it where that person can maintain their job. So, I just recommend that you give it a shot, and that you, instead of thinking of it like they can't do it as good as me, start kind of changing the way that you think about it and think, how can I train them to where they can do better than me? Or at least as good as me. And then when you start thinking of it through that lens, then it becomes something, that's more kind of growth based, instead of it being kind of like a limiting type of mindset, in terms of like, if I can't do it, then nobody else is going to be able to do it as good as me. So therefore I have to stop here. Right. So, I recommend you just kind of think about it through that lens. Yeah. Then Roger here says some of us don't even know how to edit. Yeah. Like Roger's got a huge YouTube channel, doesn't even know how to edit videos. So, there's that side as well. Yeah. I like to edit too. Yeah. Like for me, yeah. Nugana Hillary says, personally, I love editing. It fuels my creativity. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I think editing is like super fun. It's just sometimes, just being busy, or, like whatever. Robin Buys and DIYs, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. So, Build with Mooney, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. So, let's see here. Tan going in the kitchen. Thanks for the super chat. Says, let me go ahead and heart that one. Heart this one too. Says, no question today, just thank you. And also, I used to be really afraid of airplanes. I recently realized it's not a fear, it's anxiety. And I even like to sit the window seat. Nice. Nice. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And congratulations to you for getting over your fear of flying. So let's see here. So next up on our list, we have Dogfather's Barbecue. They said they do educational barbecue cooking channel. The goal of the channel is increased views and reach 500,000 subscribers next. The question is, I have a channel that had great success before life got in the way and stopped all progress. Now I'm ready to relaunch the channel. Should I start just releasing videos as we go, or should I stockpile videos and start a video release blitz, assuming I'm following the correct principles of how to do it and release the content? I recommend that you just get in motion and you start publishing videos. And the reason that I recommend that is because when you start publishing videos, then you're going to start learning from those videos. Whereas and then you can modify from there. Whereas if you're like, hey, I'm just going to stockpile a bunch of content and then just deploy it all, you might be stockpiling a bunch of content that you've made a bunch of mistakes in terms of, holding people's attention. And you're just going to commit to those mistakes just so that you can stockpile the content, right? So because of that, I recommend that you just say, okay, we're just gonna get in motion. We're gonna start, publishing videos while we're actively working on additional videos. We're gonna, continually put, be putting videos out. So I would just get in motion and get back into the routine of creating and publishing content. Thanks for the heads up, Doug. Let me go in here and find it real quick. Ninja Monkey. What's going on? Thanks for the super chat. Says, when to uncheck publish to subscriptions feed. So one example we had earlier today was if you have to, unlist a video for some reason, and then you need to publish it again, that's a good reason for it. If you upload a lot over the course of a day, because YouTube limits your notifications to 3 notifications within a 24-hour period. So if you are publishing, let's say 6 videos a day or even 4 videos a day, then in that particular case, if your subscribers are only going to get notified of 3 of those videos anyway, then that lets you be able to pick which video doesn't, get that extra love, because one of them's not going to anyway. So then in that particular case, it lets you be very specific about which one, you wouldn't have them notify. If you're, a channel that does like news content or something like that, you publish, a bunch of videos in a day, then that same exact thing applies to where you're like, okay, these videos are super important specifically to my active subscribers. So therefore I'm going to make sure that, they see those videos. But some of these other ones maybe are like good for my channel and good for my type of viewer, but maybe they're not that like slam dunk home run, for my subscriber. So therefore let me, uncheck the box for those particular videos. But those are, some, kind of use cases there for hitting that button. But as a side note, when you are, and also one thing you mentioned here also, and I'm just gonna put this on screen because this is a really interesting thing. So you say, I'm wondering if I do a different style video that my normal subs won't like, will it still reach people? So yeah, it absolutely can reach people. But here's something also that I just kind of want to challenge you with here is, when you publish something, if it's like a completely different, like something to where, like, let's say you make videos about, cars, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to publish this food video. First, that shouldn't even be on that channel, in the first place. But if you're going to do it anyway, then in that case, maybe, you don't want to, show them that. But if you're like, okay, I make car videos, but I'm going to publish this, video about, maybe normally I'm driving the car, but I have this video that I went to this car show, and I'm going to not notify subscribers of that. I think that in that particular scenario that you should still, let the subscribers be notified of that, because, if they enjoy like watching you drive, then in that case, they might also, enjoy, your opinions about, in your experience of what you went through at the car show. So, if it's in alignment with the audience, then in that case, I think it's still good to, make sure that, subscribers will see it. And YouTube's creator liaison, Renee Ritchie, he mentions in here, he says, the box only controls notifications for when long-form videos go public for the first time or you start a live stream. They don't notify on shorts going public. So there we go. So just a little bit of clarity there on the, function of that particular checkbox. Okay, so my main channel is Japan travel updates, but when I do other Japan travel videos that are not updates, they don't do well. So if that's a consistent thing, so let's learn from this real quick. So if this is a consistent thing where you're publishing videos and you have one channel and you're publishing videos that are travel updates, and when you do other travel videos that are not updates, they don't do well. So you can use this as a learning experience and say, okay, well, if my target audience that I'm really making content for on this particular channel, if I have a whole subset of content that they just don't respond to, then in that particular case, you could kind of be working against yourself there. So in some cases, if you're like, yeah, there's a segment of my audience that does really enjoy this other, Japan content, then in that case, it makes sense to still publish that content there. But if you're like, yeah, these videos completely just don't go anywhere where the other videos they do well, but these videos, when I publish them on this channel, they don't do well, then that's essentially telling you is that your audience isn't into that particular content. So because of that, one thing that you might want to just consider is focusing your channel on the content that your audience does respond to, or kind of remixing the stuff that they're not responding to and trying to find a way to do it that maybe they would enjoy, or trying to grow a completely different audience for that additional content that their current audience isn't responding to on another channel, about Japan. So just some kind of things to consider there. But the general best practice on YouTube is, you want to give your viewers what it is that they, want from you, so that they'll keep, coming in and interacting with the content and having a good experience, and you get to keep that relationship going. But when you are publishing content that they're not really into, for some of your content, then what you're doing right there is you're basically saying like, hey, I know you come to me for this, but I'm just going to publish this stuff over here, creator anyway. And then when you do that, it also makes it difficult for people to like binge watch the content as much and things like that, because then they have to like try to, dig around to find content that they enjoy, versus being able to just go to your channel page or your video page and enjoy anything that they click on from that page, right? So just kind of some food for thought for you there. And let's see here, and really quick, Rene Ritchie, he mentioned also, he said it can be confusing because the dashboard shows averages. Dive into your traffic sources and see how browse and home performance is really doing. In terms of, the idea there is gauging, how people, are responding to your content. All right, let's see here. So let's see here. So, and really quick, Ninja Monkey says, can we please have a way to remove content from being recommended in end screens, for example, old streams? So the easiest way to do that is to be very specific about what it is that you are recommending to people in your end screen. So when it comes to your end screen, if you use the best for viewer spot, before shorts hit the scene, that was a really good way to, to make sure that, viewers are getting recommended, some good, long form content to keep that session going and all that. But since they started doing shorts, I stopped doing that. And also, with some of the live streams, they would show up there, sometimes as well.
That happened. That's why I unlisted a lot of live streams, because they were recommending a lot of live streams.
I deleted like 1.5 million views worth of live streams like 2 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, but but they're like old,
Yeah.
like
Hey, Mark.
But basically, when it comes to the content being recommended, is just be intentional about what it is that you're putting in your end screen. So, for example, like when you come to the end of your video, one thing that is just kind of best practice when it comes to YouTube is, instead of doing all the things where you're like, hey, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Instead of doing all those types of things, instead be like, hey, if you enjoyed this video, I've got more videos, on this particular topic in this playlist right here. Go ahead and click into that, or on the screen if you're not on camera, or set it up in terms of like, okay, so, we've gotten this far in the video, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. I actually, have a video where I go a lot more in depth on this, particular thing in Japan, in this video that's on the screen now, and try to get them, to actually click on that next video. And the whole idea there is, you're not trying to like trick people into watching that video or anything like that. You're not trying to like psychologically, kind of, manipulate them into watching the video. Well, all you're doing is you're making it easy for people to know that you have that video available, because not everybody that's interacting with your channel watches every video. Not everybody that's interacting with your channel goes and looks at your channel page and sees everything that you're doing. So you're making it easy for those people to know that you have that video available, and you're making it easy for them to take that action to click on it if it's something that they're interested in. So the way that you do that is you just think about, okay, this is the video that I'm making. What other videos or playlists do I have on my channel that would be an absolute slam dunk for the people that are watching this particular video, in terms of, if this gets presented to them, it's likely that if they click on it, that they're really going to enjoy that content. And then that's what it is that you recommend. And then that way you have complete control over everything that's happening, on your end screens. And Rene Ritchie says here, are shorts still in the end screens for long forms? Yeah, I'm not sure if they still are, because I kind of stopped paying attention after I stopped, putting them in there after I, made those changes. So I know. When were we doing channel reviews?
We don't keep up on YouTube shenanigans anymore, Renee.
We were doing channel reviews on the Tube Spanner channel. I think it might have been like a month or two ago. And I know that I saw some there. Yeah, I think it's like within the last month or two. No, it wouldn't be a month. We were at VidSummit. So probably 2 months ago, maybe, on the Tube Spanner channel. Yeah, on channel reviews, I saw them pop up there. So possibly. So let's see here. Shark Scrapper says, another creator friend of mine received an email inviting him to YouTube channel membership boot camp. The address is a Google address, but he's suspicious. How can he confirm that it's real? If it's coming directly from Google, it should be good to go. But one thing that I would be careful of, though, just to be on the safe side, is, if there is any type of like, website or anything like that they're sending him to, he can hover over that particular link on there, and then down in the little hover preview that you get in emails, and just when you're in a browser, it'll say where that website's going. So if they see that there, then just kind of making sure that it's something official from Google there as well, in order to be able to get in there. It's
crazy that we now live in an age where we are scared to death to open any like emails sent to us from sponsors or even from Google. Right, we're at the stage where
you got to be worried about everything.
Where if Google sends you an email or YouTube sends you an email, and there's
it's like, I don't know, is this real? Yeah.
Right. Like, is this real? Is this a real thing? You want me to join this thing or be part of this? Take a survey or join this community? Is this even real? Think about the amount of people who won't participate in something like that because they're afraid of getting hacked and losing their account.
Right.
It's just a weird spot that we're in.
It is.
Hey, Scully.
Scully Pop.
He's
Thanks
a member
for the
59 months.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. What a weird thing. You're scared of YouTube and Google links.
Share the
that's
links
where we're at.
and like,
that's where we're at.
It's like, I'm not opening that PDF. Yeah, like also like, because you like on Twitter DMs and stuff, people are like, hey, I'd love to edit your videos, or, hey, I noticed you're not publishing a lot of shorts. Do you want to do it? And the portfolio is going to like a Dropbox link.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no,
I'm just too paranoid to click on that. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm like, just put them on YouTube, put a playlist up there, and then I'll click on that. But because I can actually go to the channel and find it versus clicking on
there
something.
is
Just
a
extra
hack.
paranoia.
There's
unfortunate.
There's a scam that's been going around X for a couple of weeks, and it's still very relevant. They're sending DMs to people. It looks like it's coming. Somewhat looks like it's coming from an official X account, saying that they're having a copyright infringement on their account, and then they put a link that looks. I think it looks suspicious, but apparently tons of people are falling for it. They click the link, boom, they got you. Same sort of thing, and they're taking over accounts that way.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What's funny is this happens everywhere. Like, so it happens to content creators where we're getting mails of, people trying to, hack us there. They're doing it on X, trying to, hack people there.
They're doing it on Instagram
in the
too.
app world, they're doing that too.
Are they?
Yeah. So basically in the app world, what people are doing is they are in the SaaS space in general, is there are people that reach out to all of these developers and they're like, hey, love your stuff. We're interested in buying it.
Oh.
And then they take that approach and they offer some substantial amount of money. And then the person's like, holy cow, I can't believe they're offering me this much money for this thing.
Have
And
a
then they
look
get
at
all
our
excited
contract.
about it.
Have a look at our contract.
Yep.
Boom.
And then
Gotcha.
they get them. Yep.
Ah, man. Like,
Yeah,
how
it's
do
crazy.
you... God, that's so crazy, man. Like, what a time to be alive.
Yep. Derek J Reacts is our next channel here. They do body cam reaction channel. The goal of the channel says, I react to body cam videos while pointing out the stupid mistakes people make to get them arrested in an effort to teach others not to make the same mistakes.
That's good.
Question. I'm gearing up to start promoting affiliate links and sell merch to my audience. Any advice on how to do that without it feeling weird? So the best thing that you can do when it comes to products or when it comes to like merch or anything like that is be proud of what it is that you create. And I know that that sounds kind of weird, but when you are proud of the things that you are making or proud of the things that you are promoting, then in that case, it takes all the weirdness away because you know with 100% certainty that that recommendation is coming from a good place. And you know that if the person, gets it, then in that particular case, if it's like a product, for example, with 100% certainty, okay, if somebody signs up for this, they're going to have a really good experience here. It's going to be super helpful for them. Therefore, I'm doing them a favor by letting them know about this. When it comes to merch, it's like, hey, this is really cool. I'm super proud of this. I'm so glad that I made it. I think it looks awesome. The quality of this merch is great. I know if they get it, they're going to be super happy with it. Like, for example, like this Roger Wakefield Club mug, I guarantee you, this is like one of the best mugs like on earth. I guarantee you that if he is not shy in any way, shape, or form about letting his audience know about this because he knows that it's awesome. He knows that it fits nicely in your hand. He knows the design is cool. This isn't just a print. It's actually like what is that, embossed?
It's like
where it kind of
it's
sticks
raised.
out.
Yeah,
it's like raised. Like this is a high quality mug. So, because this is such a high quality thought out piece, like I guarantee you that Roger is not timid about, bringing this to the attention of his audience. He's probably like, hey, this is a dope mug. Go check it out. Maybe he wouldn't say those specific words.
He would.
He'd probably say this is an amazing mug. Go check it out. But the idea is that when you're proud about the stuff and you're like, hey, I put a lot of effort into that and I believe that it's good, then in that particular case it kind of removes some of that weirdness by default. And also, it is fair. I know some people are kind of skittish about trying to bring attention to things because of the exchange of money. But at the end of the day, when you are confident in that thing that they are exchanging that money for, it removes some of that that concern.
I just want to put this up here for size. So this is
for science.
for size.
Okay. Well, I'm saying for science.
Or for science, too.
Yeah.
This is a standard.
Here, we can put this because everybody's familiar with this.
Okay, but what size is this?
Grande.
A grande. Yeah, if you don't speak Starbucks, it doesn't mean anything to you, but we're going to put it up here anyway. So
medium.
This is a standard coffee cup mug. Standard. This is a grande.
Yep.
Starbucks cup. This is the Wakefield.
Yep. The Wakefield.
It's huge. I mean, if it didn't have the...
You could fit the Starbucks one in there.
If it didn't have the handle, you could fit this cup in here.
Boom.
And it could go down further. And by the way,
this is where the science gets in, right? We're like Bill Nye in this right now.
There we go. Look at that.
Boom.
Look at that. You can almost fit an entire grande Starbucks cup inside of the Wakefield.
In terms of volume, in terms of the amount of fluid that you can fit in there, I'm pretty confident you can fit an entire Starbucks, like that entire grande would fit in there.
I almost feel
it's just because it kind of cones down there. Like that is like the base of that is also wide. So I'm pretty confident that you could fit the entire
Are you finished with this?
Contents of that in there.
Are you finished with this?
Yeah. But I mean it's not full though, so like you'd have to
Well, can I like dump it out? I feel like doing a little science experiment.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, go ahead and answer the questions.
Totally.
I'm going to clean this out.
Okay.
So
I'll get the questions.
So we don't get coffee inside of the Wakefield.
Okay. Yeah, do it.
But we're going to go and see how much.
Yeah, we're going to do an experiment right here in just a minute, just for science.
How much beverage?
Yeah.
We can actually transfer back because I'm curious.
Yep. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yep. So while you're doing that, I'm going to answer some questions.
Hold on, Rogers.
And then Dee will come back here in just a
payment
second.
hasn't hit yet, so we might want to wait just a little bit.
I love
might
it.
want to wait just a few minutes.
Figure Fever says, sorry, can't stay. We'll watch the replay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for hanging out. And hopefully you enjoy it on the replay as well. Oh, he's testing it, Ed. He's not joking around. He just went in there to clean out the Starbucks cup. We're gonna find out here exactly how much fluid the Wakefield can handle over there. Okay, so next up, while we're waiting for Dee to come back in for science, we are doing Kendrick Foster. Kendrick Foster uploads 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel is tech, home theater, and man cave content. The goal of the channel is to help people and eventually be able to do YouTube full time. The question is, my niche started as tech reviews, but I've posted videos based on the tech in my man cave, and those videos greatly outperform my tech reviews. Do you think that it would make sense to try to pivot my channel to focus on man cave videos? If I did that, I know that my video output would greatly be reduced. Would you pivot or continue to grow the tech review audience? I enjoy making both types of content, but man cave and DIY take much longer to produce. Thanks for the help. So if the audience is really responding to that content, then you have a couple of choices. One is to fully lean into that content for the sake of like, hey, yeah, I know that every time I publish these videos, they're going to do well. So because of that, I'm going to publish less, but I'm going to, get that excellent result out of it. So that's one approach. The second approach is, I love doing the tech stuff. People respond to that. They just don't respond to it as well as the other stuff. Then in that case, you would know that. And when you're putting your content strategy together, you can say, okay, over the course of the next 3 months, I'm going to have, X amount of man cave videos because I know those are going to bring in a lot of viewership and those are really going to, hit the home run with my audience. And then for the other tech content, I do have these very particular things that maybe are going to be trending or these releases that are going to be coming out that I know that people are going to be interested in. So because of that, then I'm going to make some content on those. And I know that they're not going to do as well as the man cave content, but they're going to do okay. So because of that, I'm going to do those as well. But when you map that out over the course of the 3 months, it just kind of helps you be a little bit more intentional about, what it is that you're publishing and why. So if you wanted to just fully lean into the man cave content, because that's what people responded to, you can absolutely do that. But you can also just kind of, like for example, me, when I make a video about getting views on YouTube, those typically, not always, but like most of the time, I can count on those to do, relatively well. So because of that, if I am putting content together and I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and, make sure that let's spend this next 3 months trying to get the numbers up. Then in that particular case, I would, make sure that I'm dropping in some of the, those videos and maybe some others that typically perform well on my channel. If the goal is like, okay, let's get the numbers up a little bit over this next 3 months, right? So just knowing for a fact I'm going to drop those in helps me know that, okay, I'm going to get little spikes, when I drop these out, just based on the history of my channel and what typically performs here. For all the stuff that's going to go in between, those are going to have different purposes. But for the case of those particular spikes, that's going to bring in new viewership. I need to make sure that I'm, publishing, some of those over this particular time period. All right, D, what do we got?
Okay, so here's what we have, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Starbucks Grande Cup, and you can probably see
So call me paranoid really quick, but we should probably move the ATEM just kind of a little bit away from that edge because there's electric there. So if that does spill over, we might kind of fry out. So yeah.
But what a story that would be.
That's true. All right, go for it. Let's do it. Okay.
So I've got a black line right
for the
here
story.
that this is how much water we actually have inside this Starbucks Grande Cup. And by the way, while we might be sponsored by Roger Wakefield, we are not sponsored by Starbucks.
Or Roger Wakefield. Yeah.
Or Roger Wakefield. So what I'm curious, and I don't know, I'm going to see how much of this, and yeah, this is going to be risky. I'm just going to pour it directly over the ATEM.
Just hold the coffee cup over top of the ATEM
yeah.
and then do it?
I'm going to do this just for like full effect.
All right, go.
That's probably really bad idea.
I was calling his bluff. I was like, yeah, okay, let's see if he's going to do it.
I will.
Right,
I will. I'll put it
All
right over the top.
Plenty of room to spare.
Oh my
You
God.
could have literally filled that to the top and you'd still have room.
Okay, so
How do we
it's
you got the camera right there. Can you get it up close
only-
to that camera over there?
no, I can't tilt it because it'll all pour out.
Well, you can tilt it a little bit because
No,
it's not full.
It's only about to here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could have filled this to the top, to the absolute rim, and there would have still been room inside of the Wakefield to add more of your tasty beverage of choice.
Yep. Nice.
Roger gave this some thought.
Yep. So
So
Eric
what
Waite whiskey studies. This is some information for you. That means that you could fit an entire Americano in there, and you can also get some of that in there as well for Eric Waite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the next? So this is a Grande. What's bigger, the Venti?
Venti.
So without question, you could probably pour a Venti into this without
Nice.
question.
Nice.
And not a single drop got on the A10 Mini. I don't think they could see,
Yeah,
but
so
I was pouring
on-
over. Yeah,
so-
I could see. I was pouring over this
Yep.
just because that's how we roll.
Yep.
And it's not mine.
High
so I don't-
risk right here.
I don't really care.
Yep.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, so
Make
with
them
that
buy
particular
another one. I
cup,
don't
when
care. Big show.
because I do the coffee pods at home,
Right.
and my machine, it has like an XL setting, and
almost
I
took a
set it to XL,
Yeah.
and when I set it to XL and I fill it up, like it still doesn't even go like over halfway on that thing.
I
It's
almost
huge.
foolishly
Love it.
took a swig out of that, which would have been a really bad idea.
Tango in the Kitchen says science with the Niman brothers.
That's right.
That's right.
Bill Nye's
Move
got
over,
nothing-
Bill Nye.
Yeah, Bill Nye's got nothing on
Yep.
us.
Move over, Bill.
Nobody fills water up live like we do.
That's right.
So
Okay.
you see it in here. Order the
Yep.
cups.
Yep.
Roger, do you even sell these cups, or are these just something that you give to your favorite people in the world?
In the whole planet?
Yeah,
On the whole planet Earth?
Who, Roger? Can you please let us know who gets access to these cups? Is this a limited edition of one?
Well, I got 2 at home.
Okay, 3. Have
So,
you made
yeah.
3 or 4 of them? Yeah, we need to know.
So here we go. So the Train Room is our next channel. They upload when they have time. Been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do model railroading content. The goal of the channel is to help other railroaders with tutorials and show our layouts. The question is, thanks for the channel review on Tube Spanner last month. I'm planning to go to Vid Summit next year. Good idea. Can anybody go as long as they pay the conference free, or is there a subscriber level? Absolutely. Anybody is welcome at Vid Summit. There's not a subscriber level. Subscribers don't even like really come up. So basically when you're having conversations with people, you just have the conversations. Like, because it's more of like a peer event, nobody really cares about how many subscribers you have. People care about what you're trying to accomplish. They care about the troubles that you're having and how they can try to help you overcome those things and all that. It's great for brainstorming and whatnot. In fact, if Brian G. Johnson's still in here, he can kind of verify this. But I was hanging out with Brian G. Johnson, Phil Starkovic, who was the one of the former founders of TubeBuddy, Brian G. Johnson, and a guy named Lane. And Lane has an elevator YouTube channel, and we were all grabbing some food, like fellas do. And while we were having that food, we were talking about the elevator channel. So, in that particular case, that's probably not content that you would think that people would really brainstorm on, because the whole concept of this channel is you walk into an elevator with a phone and, you just kind of walk around the elevator. You don't really say anything. So it's kind of ASMR-ish or whatever. And, hit the buttons, go for the ride, and then the door opens, you get out, right? That's the whole thing. So told us about this particular channel, and they probably won't implement this advice because they're, the way that they're doing it is kind of, just so that they can do it, quickly and kind of get on with their lives. But basically it went from like, oh my gosh, you're on elevator content. Tell me about it. And they tell us about it. We're all cracking up, having a great time, just kind of talking about how bizarre it is. And then we start brainstorming on it because, naturally kind of what happens at Vid Summit. So it goes from, hey, we're doing this, talking about this elevator channel to like, okay, hey, maybe you should do an infinite elevator live stream that's 24/7 to where you have like one elevator going up, 24/7, right? And you just put it on loop or something like that. And then you have another one going down 24/7, and then elevator enthusiasts, they always, can hop in, up or down, and they can just kind of constantly ride this elevator. So you can, pull in the live stream traffic from that was one of the ideas. I think Brian G. Johnson might have came up with the name Infinite Elevator. In addition to that, we were talking about, hiring somebody that works with or that knows how to do Unreal Engine. And then with Unreal Engine, for those of you that are familiar with Unreal Engine, it's basically they use it to make video games and things like that. And it's really realistic. And love it, but it's really realistic. So another idea was like, okay, with your, with your elevator content, you have an advantage. And you could really stand out if you started doing Unreal Engine content, and then with that, you could do elevator rides as well. So it would all work and look exactly the same. But the only difference would be you would be able to do exclusive elevators that nobody's ever seen before. You would be able to do things like, hey, this particular elevator is, in this back hallway in the Burj in Dubai, and we're riding up in this particular elevator over here that nobody's ever been in before, right? And basically kind of selling it, on those types of ideas. But anyway, at Vid Summit, we just took something basic like elevator ASMR, and yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was, Renee. But basically we took something like that, and then we all just naturally started brainstorming on like, okay, how do we make this better, right? And then we we're talking about like different ideas for like merch. We we're talking about different ways to bring in some extra like income from the particular elevator thing, but all kinds of different ideas. But when you're there, and the idea that I'm getting at is in terms of like why nobody really talked about subscribers, because everybody's there, everybody's trying to improve, everybody's trying to figure stuff out and learn, but everybody's trying to contribute as well. So when you start talking about what it is that you're doing and you start being open for suggestions and whatnot, then you have other people that are also doing what it is that you're doing, but they're doing different stuff possibly, and you get to get that input on what it is that you're doing. So that was a very long way to say that at Vid Summit subscribers don't matter. However, one thing that I do recommend is that you do, that you are just kind of caught up on best practices, that kind of stuff, so that you can just kind of understand everything that everybody's talking about, when you're there. But as long as you're caught up on all that stuff, if you hang out here, then you'll be good to go, for that, because, we talk about all those things. But yeah, in terms of subscriber count, it doesn't matter. You're welcome. The only requirement is that, hopefully you are, willing to learn, you're trying to improve, and that you're also, open to share ideas. If you're standing there and you're talking with somebody and you come up with something good, hopefully, you're open to share it. Let's see here. So next up,
I just want to take a second to thank Roger Wakefield for the excellent mug and the hat.
Love it.
Totally.
We need a video of him saying, "I'm Roger Wakefield and I sponsor and I approve this message."
Yeah,
that's great.
Just wanted to put this out there. Got the hat and I got the mug.
Oh, love it.
Totally not sponsored. I love you, Roger. Hope you're doing well, man.
So good.
So Alex Talesford is the next channel here. They upload every other day. Been on YouTube for a year or more. They do gaming and entertainment content. The goal of the channel is trying to get famous on YouTube and make money. And the question is how to get more views on YouTube forever and subscribers. Okay, here it is. Ready?
Oh, boy.
Make content that a certain type of person really enjoys. If you do that, and if that content is something that a type of person that is similar to a lot of other people enjoy, then in that particular case, you will continue to get views over time. You will continue to get subscribers over time. But the whole idea is that you have to go through you have to walk through the fire of, accepting, if you're just getting started, accepting where you're at in the learning curve there and being like, hey, I'm getting started at this. I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to try to do everything I can to learn. Then as you're going through, you're going to realize that, that in addition to all the things you need to learn, that, you know, as you're learning everything, there's still a lot more to learn. So then when you reach those points and you're like, okay, I'm willing to do that too. And then you just keep walking down that path. And the more that you are willing to learn and apply and experiment with on your YouTube channel, the more and more you're increasing your chances of, you know, getting exactly what it is that you're looking for there. While all that's happening, you have to actively be developing your skill sets around all the things that you need to know how to do to be a content creator. That means, you know, not just being like, hey, I make thumbnails and they're amazing. Instead, everything that you make, instead of thinking it's amazing, think like, yeah, this can definitely be better. Yeah, I can definitely write better titles. I can definitely be better on camera. I can definitely come up with better video ideas. I can definitely make my videos better. You know, these might be okay now, but I can definitely do better than this. And if you are actively doing that and you are actively trying to improve your skill sets in order to make that possible, then that's going to be the path to be able to actually do it. But if you're like, hey, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just uploading awesome things. I know all my stuff's awesome, and I just need, you know, more people to see it. It's important to understand that if it's awesome in the eyes of other people are going to see it. If it's not, then in that particular case, you need to keep working on it until it does. And YouTube is great at helping you identify that, because as soon as your content gets to a level that's competitive for the platform, for the people that you're trying to reach, then you're going to start getting views on your videos and everything's got to start being better. But if it's not there right now, hang in there. That's just part of the process, and just keep working on your skill sets and trying to make things better while moving forward. And those breakout videos, those are going to start to, you know, paint the picture of like, okay, hey, I'm going in the right direction. I'm starting to do the right things.
Good advice.
Nikki, what's going on? Nice to see you in here. It was awesome hanging out at Vid Summit. So let's see here. So next up on the list, we have Adrian Dixon Fitness. Uploads when they have time. They do fitness content. The goal of the channel is to grow my audience and get more paying customers on my online fitness platform. The goal of the channel, why do my views keep fluctuating? I feel as if they're going backwards each time that I check. So if you mean the display that you see on YouTube, just keep in mind that they do verify views. So if you're getting like a lot of views coming in, you don't really notice that. But if you're, you know, if the views aren't up that high yet, then, you know, then you're like, oh, wow, you know, I had like, you know, 50 views. Now I've got like 48. So what can happen is a few different things. One is that YouTube does verify, you know, the views to make sure that it's legitimate, you know, people interacting with the content. But also other things in terms of like if you are like looking on your phone and then you look on your computer, then in that particular case, you might see, you know, a little bit of a difference there because, you know, their CDNs and the different devices and everything, like it's not all instantly updating with everything exactly the same. So there is a little bit of a lag there. In addition to that, like if you're looking in like YouTube search, you might see something different than if you see your video show up on a home page or recommended or even on your channel page. So it's just, you know, you see those different views just based on their system kind of catching up and verifying everything, and then you know, kind of you know, updating, you know, each individual surface of where your video is being presented. Same thing with like, you know, looking at your channel from the outside versus looking at your channel from the inside. So if you look at the video from the inside, you know, you will usually see views that are higher. Like if you're getting views, you know, coming in steadily, you usually see views that are higher than what it is that people are seeing from the outside as well. Next up.
Hey, Nikki. Nice to see you.
We've got JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia, says they do travel content. Goal of the channel is to share my experience living and traveling in Asia. Question, I've been doing most of my videos about living in the Philippines, but I'm planning on moving to Thailand and spending time between both countries. My question is, how do I get new subscribers who might be interested in my Thailand videos and at the same time not lose my current views and subscribers? So what you are getting ready to deal with is a common thing that happens with a lot of travel channels, to where, you know, they'll be in one location and then that location will blow up in terms of like, you know, those that, you know, either people are extremely interested in that location or the people in that location, you know, got extremely interested in the content, and then they go somewhere else. And then in some cases, you know, they have to kind of build that audience up as well. So what'll probably happen is you are going to end up growing an audience that's into Philippines content. You're going to end up growing an audience that's into Thailand content. And some of the Thailand people are not going to watch the Philippine content. Some of the Philippine people are not, or content, people that are watching that content are not going to watch the Thailand content. But at scale, you're going to have some people that are going to be like, oh yeah, this dude's awesome. I just love everything he's doing. And they're going to watch, they're going to watch both. So because of that, just kind of lean into that particular experience and try to, just kind of tease both of them back and forth in terms of like, hey, I'm here, now for this particular, for these particular videos, and talk about, I plan to go to the Philippines, do that. Make sure you're following along for that because it's going to be, awesome. We were there last time, we kind of did some of this stuff, blah, blah. But basically try to, kind of cross-pollinate through that type of messaging in terms of like, hey, if you're enjoying this, you're going to love what I'm doing over here, because then that kind of, incentivizes people to watch because they're really digging your stuff that you're doing in one location, which then by you telling them that you have good plans for the other location gives them more of like a reason to want to check out what it is that you're doing over there.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of crossover.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, between these two.
Yeah. If you're into Southeast Asia, you're probably into Southeast Asia. Mm-hmm. But you will get some diehards that won't watch, You're going to get Thai people that are diehard Thailand fans and diehard Philippine fans. They won't cross over, but the people who are just into Southeast Asia, they're going to go along with you no matter what. Yeah. Especially if they're into you as a creator. They'll follow you wherever you're going to go. Thailand, Cambodia, Philippines, Singapore, wherever. It's all going to be the same.
Mazzy Artistry says they upload when they have time. The type of channel is art, storytelling, entertainment channel, family friendly. The goal of the channel is to entertain an audience using my creative storytelling and my amazing art, and maybe get those big bags, if you know what I mean.
Really quick.
So,
JJ just asked about the videos on the end screen. Would you put them in the same country or different? I would put them in the same country.
Same country.
Yeah, because they watch, let's just say if you put up a video for the Philippines, they're interested in the Philippines. So I would keep serving them content from the Philippines. Yeah. YouTube, if YouTube thinks they're going to be interested in a video from another place,
they'll recommend it.
They'll recommend it to them. Yeah.
Yeah, other things you can do too is depending on how you're ending your videos. So like if you do have a thing to where maybe you're getting ready to go to the Philippines or you're getting ready to come here, like if once you have content on both, then in that particular case, just letting people know, like for regular viewers, being like, hey, I'm getting ready to go there, whatever. But like, if you want to see what how our what we did last time, I got a playlist of those videos right here. But then also put another playlist or video link to one of the local videos as well. So then that way you have both options there. But the question here says, hey, Nick and D, it's Mazzy. I have 68 subs on my channel. Anyways, my question is, what do I do while waiting for my videos to come out? I want to record for all of my channels. The others aren't art related except for an art podcast. Here comes the free promo. Yeah. Is it an Artist Path podcast? My introduction video is the only video on my channel currently from 2 months ago, but Discord hates me, so now I'm on my phone. Okay, so what you do while waiting for your videos to come out. So if you're waiting for your videos to come out, that means that you are in the process of making your videos. So as long as you're in the process of making your videos, then in that particular case, just continue working on making the videos and, just trying to make those videos as good as you possibly can. Next up, we've got DIY microbiology. They do science DIY. They would have loved the Wakefield experiment. The goal of the channel is to share what I love. And the question is, I'm making a video now, but I keep thinking that if I did not make the video perfect, then the idea will be wasted. And that keeps me stuck in the process. It's not a good thought. How can I get that off? Can I improve if I do not make it good the first time? Can I remake the video with the same idea? Okay, so this is what you're going through right here is actually a really common thing. So when you are publishing, first off, when you are like, hey, this is a really good idea, it has to be perfect, when I put it out, that's okay to try to want something to be good. There's nothing wrong with that. But at a certain point, you have to say enough's enough. I got to get this out, right? So there's nothing wrong with spending time on a video. However, if you're like, okay, I'm spending so much time on this video that I know that I'm standing in my own way, set a deadline for it, commit to it, and put the video out, at that time. Even if it's not, 100% ready, for the sake of training yourself that, okay, I mean it. When I reach this deadline, I'm going to put it out. And then hopefully that'll motivate you to get it as good as you possibly can before you hit those deadlines. Number two is Can you improve it if you did not make it good the first time? Absolutely. It's your YouTube channel. So if you make a video and you're like, hey, this was good, but then, 6 months down the road, you're like, hey, I want to make a video about that again because I think I can make a much better video now, then that's perfectly okay too. You can absolutely do that. So, I've got videos on my channel. If you look, like one of the first times that I did this actually, is I do it, I've done it a lot since then, but basically one of the first videos I put out on my YouTube channel, because I wasn't, talking about YouTube specifically when I started my channel. My first video is how to overcome camera shyness, because that was a problem that I was dealing with. So that's why I made a video on it. But the next video on the channel was something along the lines of how to name your project or something like that, or how to name a project or something along those lines. And basically in that particular video, it didn't do that great. Kind of sucked, actually.
It did.
It did.
Sucked.
I can
agree with that.
And then I ended up making a similar video once I started talking more about YouTube related stuff, or just talking to, people that were making videos. I made another video about how to name your YouTube channel, which is the same video. It was just framed around a YouTube channel. That one did like a little bit better, but still, didn't do that great. And then after sometime, I can't remember how long it was, but I did another video, same exact thing, like how to name your YouTube channel. That particular video did awesome. So, I went through, like 3 or 4 iterations of that same video in order to get to the one that people like really enjoyed. So if you think that you can make a better video, you can make, you can update videos on your channel at any time. So don't concern yourself with that too much. Next up, we got Z3ROW gaming channel. Goal of the channel so I can get noticed by esports. The question is, how can I be more productive as a future YouTuber by going live or making videos? And what do you think is the most productive way to rack up views and subs? Thanks for reading. D.
What's the question?
How can I be more productive as a future YouTuber by going live or making videos? And what do you think is the most productive way to rack up views and subs? So basically, they're a content creator. They're wanting to be a content creator. So how can they be more productive by going live or by making videos?
By making videos. By making videos, you're going to be more productive, because during that process, and by making more videos, I don't mean just low effort make videos. Try to get as many videos out as much as possible as quickly as you can. That's not what I mean. I mean by using your ability to the best of your ability right now to make the best videos that you can. Make as many quality videos as you possibly can, one after the other, on a schedule that's realistic for you, that doesn't stress you out, that fits into your lifestyle. Because through that process of making video after video, through repetition, you're going to become better as a creator. You're going to become better. You're going to become better at communicating. You're going to get better at identifying your audience, how to write the titles, how to make the thumbnails, etc. Live streaming is great for live streaming. It's a totally different skill than making the video. So I wouldn't say, or I wouldn't think which one is going to be better. I would think of them as two separate things. To get great at making videos, you have to make a lot of videos. Yep. To be an effective live streamer, you need to do a lot of live streaming.
Right. You got to practice the thing, whatever it is you're trying to do.
Whatever it is, exactly. You have to practice the thing, whichever one it's going to be. So if you want to live stream and you want to do videos, then you need to do both. But in terms of long-term return on your investment, I would say videos. I know some people do very well on replay for live streams, but I think a lot of channels, generally you do the live stream, you get the audience, you get a little bit of replay value, but compared to a video, if you do your video well, you're going to get a lot you can
ride that video for a decade.
Yeah.
If it's a good video, if it's evergreen,
almost every live stream I've ever made no longer gets views. Yeah. Almost every video I've ever made still gets views. Yeah. Even if it's just a couple of days, they still get views. So I'm always going to go with the videos. But they're two totally different things.
Tish, it was great seeing you too. She says she missed you at
hey Tish. Hopefully next year.
So next up, the channel name here is Work in Progress. They upload when they have time, been on YouTube a year or more. They do books, content. The goal of the channel is make a lasting career and community. And the question is, how do you know when to pivot when you're not successful in a niche? I'm going on 3 years on BookTube, My channel is about books, but I had a video get popular surrounding a movie topic, 12,000 views with 200 subs. So when it comes to pivoting on your YouTube channel, I believe that pivoting is more about what it is that you want to do more than it is about video performance. Because if you are, if you are making content about something that you enjoy, you can figure out how to make it do well by just learning, what it is that particular audience responds to. When it comes to pivoting the topic because your channel isn't doing well, or pivoting the whole niche of the channel, then in that particular case, I would only do that if you're not enjoying the content itself. Like, your goal here is to make a lasting career and community, which means that you do need to, start, doing better on YouTube in terms of, the response that you are getting. So that better could be, in making the BookTube content, better by actively spending that time that you need to and working on the skills in order to make it happen. Or it could be chasing this rabbit in terms of, this movie topic. If people responded better to that and you love making content about movies too, or you really enjoyed making that video, try making another one and see if people respond well to that one too. And then if they do, then, you could chase that rabbit. So, for me, when it comes to YouTube, when I, was on this particular channel, when I started this particular channel, I was just sharing things about my life at the time. So, how to overcome camera shyness, how to name your next project, like that kind of stuff, how to stay focused when you're working in a coffee shop, like those types of topics. It wasn't all focused at, video content creators. I was just sharing, what was relevant in my life at the time. Worked on another channel, came back. And when I came back, I started being, very intentional at that point in time. And I started, sharing more about like what I was doing on YouTube and how I was getting results. And one of the things at that time was that I was, specifically targeting search terms. And when I made that particular video, the comments were like, hey, this is awesome. Could you make more of these? And it wasn't like it just got flooded with, that request, but there was a handful of people in there that are like, yeah, could you make more of these? Cause I found it really helpful or whatever. And I was like, okay, let me make another one and see, if that's helpful. And then, I made another one and they enjoyed that, asked for more, made another one, and so on and so forth. Next thing you know, September 27th actually is going to be my 10-year anniversary here on YouTube.
Wow.
And,
that's crazy,
from
dude.
chasing that rabbit, now we're here in a live stream, like we have been for the last, 5 years or so, or more than that now. Talking about YouTube and, helping you guys with your channels and stuff. So, when it comes to, those types of things, when you do have something do well, and, or you have people requesting it from you, then sometimes chasing that can be the right move. But in other cases, it could also head you down a road that maybe you don't want to go down. So first off, I would get really clear on like, okay, am I wanting to make this pivot just because that video did better? Or am I wanting to make this pivot because I don't really enjoy talking about books as much as I enjoy talking about movies? And the reason that that's super important is because you've been going for 3 years now. So if you are going to continue to do this to reach your goal of a long-lasting career and community, in that particular case, be it with books or movies or something else, it's going to be something that is going to become part of who you are because you are constantly going to be talking about it, researching it, reading it, sharing it with people. You're going to be, talking with other people about it, and they're going to know you as that, all of that stuff. So you have to make really, you have to be very intentional or focused on what it is that you're actually wanting and what it is that you're enjoying to make sure that you are walking down that right path so that you're not just chasing something just for the fact that it did better, but also that you think you might be happier making that type of content and being known as that movie person versus being known as a book person and basically, having all the things that you're doing around YouTube being about, one thing compared to the other. So hopefully that helps.
That's good.
And on that note, I want to let everybody know that I'm going to go ahead and shut this down here. It's a little bit early today. I still have like a long...
I told you we wouldn't make it.
Yep. I have a long drive and I'm still...
I told you.
Yep. Still... I like when I come back, I don't from the trips, I don't like force myself through jet lag. I just kind of like let everything kind of naturally play out. So I woke up super early this morning, like 6 a.m. So I'm just kind of running out of juice. So if you're a new content creator, make sure that you're focused on your skill sets. Make sure that you're being patient with yourself. Make sure that you are, just recognizing that, this is something that you're new at. So if you have a video that, that comes out and it doesn't do as good as you had hoped, just, embrace that for what it is and say, okay, that's fine. It's a learning experience. What can I learn from this? Even though it didn't perform well, what is it that I can learn from this, and try to do better on your next video. But just embrace wherever it is that you're at in the learning curve. We all do that because we all are constantly learning more because this stuff evolves so quickly. So just embrace where you're at in the learning curve, and keep trying to make better content, keep trying to serve your viewers in better ways. And thanks for checking in. It's been awesome to be back here after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Great stream.
Yep, good stream, man.
Yep. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And we'll see you next time.
We might get 3 hours in next time.
Yeah, we'll get 3 hours in next time. Yep. All right. Have a great weekend.
Yep.